Hey everyone, how's it going? Catch 'em all collectibles here, and I have a special last minute guest, Pokemon DNA. Many of you likely
Hey, what's going
probably
on, everybody?
know. He's got his own channel. He's doing the editing game over for TCA Gaming. He's all around in various live streams, so a lot of you are already probably familiar. But just gonna hang out tonight.
Yeah,
I think I titled it. What did I title it? Market Q&A. I didn't really have any firm plans, and decided to bring DNA in here, and we're just gonna hang out.
cool, man.
But
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Obviously, I literally shot you a message. It was like super last second once I saw that you're going live, so it's kind of cool that we're able to chat together tonight.
yeah, I actually just updated OBS this morning. Probably a mistake because I think the live chat overlay that I use, I think that like plugin or whatever isn't yet configured for the new OBS. So I don't think I'll be able to highlight messages, unfortunately.
And just for FYI, for anyone who's watching I can't see Dan live. I'm watching the same thing y'all are watching, so this is like a huge trip on my end, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So just bear with me.
I think the delay is usually like pretty rough too. Like you'll probably be 20 or 30 seconds behind. So if
Yeah,
and when I
I'm trying to read.
start cracking slabs or cracking packs or who knows what might happen, his reactions are not going to be timed to what you're seeing. It's a weird dynamic, but I've talked about it before. The Deep Woods internet just cannot handle uploading my video to Discord and to YouTube. So I got to do one or the other. I'm gonna see if I can get chat like below us. Just put the whole chat on screen.
Mr. Wallace had a lot of lives today. I didn't see anyone else live but you. I wonder who else is live.
Yeah, I didn't even check before I went on. I don't recall anything being scheduled that I knew about, but yeah, there's a lot of people doing lives lately in the Pokemon space, and doesn't surprise me at all that someone else would be live right now.
I'm honestly loving it because I feel like the live stream game has improved a lot, especially like you got people like Professor Oak throwing in new games and kind of starting that trend and all sorts of different types of stuff going on. So I'm honestly really liking it. It makes for some good long form content to listen while I'm working.
Yeah, I listen to way too much Pokemon content, but it is nice. It is nice to have stuff there. Yeah, I've kind of got chat coming in here in a second.
It's funny the Zard Hunter said, "I wonder if Dan's cracking an expensive slabs tonight." We were just talking about that like 5 minutes ago.
I actually messaged him. So we were contemplating doing a deal on that particular card that if I can find it, I might crack tonight. So I kind of wanted to reach out to him. Like we didn't have anything completely firmed up. We had like a tentative potential partial trade. And I'm like, hey, so if I ended up cracking that slab, you wouldn't be too mad at me, would you? He gave me the green light, so oh, PK just went live. Yeah, he's one of those guys who doesn't plan it at all. I try to schedule him out ahead of time. It is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of it's a big space. There's a lot of people. I think there's room for two, three, four, five lives at a time to time. Not gonna hurt my feelings if anyone dips to go watch him, or if you want to hang out here, feel free to leave questions and yeah, have a good time.
Well, cool,
With
man. I
that
don't
though,
know.
yeah, I was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I'm gonna be like trying to find these slabs. If you've got anything on your mind, want to chat about, feel free. I might have to leave screen for a minute or two. I have no idea where I put this stuff.
Okay, well, if I ask a question and I don't hear anything back, I'll just take it that you left. So,
I'll hear you. I'll just take my mic with me, kind of, if I do have to go off screen.
okay. Um, the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I anticipated on talking about this on our live. We can still, or on the live on my channel, but we can kind of touch base on this. I heard you say, I think it was with James and Cam on the Pokeflips podcast when you were talking about how pack rating is like throwing darts at a board, and it just depends if the person who's throwing darts has had some stuff, some drinks, and if they're good at throwing darts or not. If you get high grades, and how nothing gets below a 7. Someone in your position who's graded a ton of cards with CGC and with PSA. Something I wanted to ask you was, do you feel confident when you submit something to CGC that you know what grade it's going to get? Because in my findings, and granted, I've only graded like 300 or 400 cards with them, I think now, in total. I have no idea what their grading scale is because they are so lax on service. They don't have centering scales and so on and so forth. It's just a complete toss up for me.
Yeah, what I've always said, and to be completely fair, like I've always said ±1. I don't think they have more accuracy or more precision than ±1. So say a card is like
Mm-hmm.
air quotes a true 9. I think if you submit that thing 100 times on any given day, there's going to be a distribution. 95% of times they're going to land within ±1. That has huge implications because that's saying that a 9 could be an 8 some days and it could be a 10 some days. It might be
Yeah.
depending on the card, depending on where it exists, because the 1 to 10 range, I mean, it's a spectrum. There's not like distinct, it's not like 9 pounds, 10 pounds. You put it on a scale that's going to hit it plus or minus a thousandth of a pound, thousandth of a gram or something over and over. But given my experiences, over 10,000 cards with PSA, close to 10,000 cards with CGC probably. I think I can 95% of the times I think I can get within ±1 of guessing. Usually I submit, I mean historically I would only submit strong copies. I would never pre-grade anything a 10. To me it was always like 9 pluses. So historically speaking, I would submit 9 pluses to PSA, and half my cards would get 10s, half of them would get 9s, and then some small rounding error would get like 8s or 7s or 6s if I missed something. So I
Yeah.
feel as comfortable with CGC as I do with PSA, generally speaking. But there's flyers still, though. Like, I don't think it's as bad as pack rating, but I think there's quite a bit of inconsistency just in general. I think there's almost a little bit of randomization dart throw in card grading as well.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I guess it's more or less that, and I guess I kind of have studied the CGC grading scale, but like I think it's the finite details that kind of get me and kind of throw me out for a loop. And I probably should do more research and handle more CGC cards, whether it be a collecticon or whatever, and handle them just because of how they do print lines, and because I've seen like pristine tens with print lines and perfect tens, because I've heard that like they deem them as like manufactured errors with like modern cards and stuff like that. So I don't really know, but I mean, if you take the ±1 perspective, I feel like you could get pretty accurate. So I guess what you're saying with that being said is you're not like submitting anything that has to be a surefire 10 for you to make money. You're pretty much submitting things where you can feel comfortable at a 9. Is that an appropriate kind of guess?
Yeah, I got in trouble um early on with CGC. I got bailed out because of just the absurd market we're in and my ability to bulk slabs out for like 13 or 14 bucks a piece, which is going to go away, I think. But I kind of chucked, like, historically 7-8 years ago I had to pre-grade everything fairly well. I was opening pack fresh cards. I was great. I mean, I was grading 90+% of stuff that I pulled from a pack myself. I mean, most stuff out of a pack, even WotC, even Heart Gold Soul Silver. Like when it's rougher quality, you're still talking 8+. So you're talking 8+. I would look it over pretty quickly, and light pre-grading, I would say. PSA grades fairly easy at the end of the day, honestly, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
9s and 10s on most stuff that's packed fresh, especially if you're talking non-hollows from almost any era. But
Deluja.
with uh with CGC, I got punished a bit with all the 8.5s that would have been 9s or some even 10s at PSA, or yeah, at PSA. So I don't know. Grading is just it is what it is. I utilize it
I
because
missed about
I utilize it
I
because
missed about half of what you said.
oh really?
Just FYI. Yeah, it was cutting out, but I think I have a decent idea. But
Was it my end or I don't
it's
know if it
probably
was
my end if I had to guess. To be
okay.
honest,
I think
I've been
I've
having
been
problems with
green.
Discord here recently.
Okay, I think I've been green the whole time. Um yeah, I utilize grading because it makes business a lot easier, but I just don't have a ton of like actual faith in it. They're again, like I'm not comfortable with the premiums placed on it for what I deem their reproducibility, the validity of the measurement, right? And that's the engineer
Yeah,
in me speaking. I'm used to measuring volumetric flow rates and measuring masses, measuring temperatures, and knowing the accuracy and the precision and calculating propagation of air. Like precision and accuracy of measurements is very, very important in the engineering space. And maybe that's my bias against it all. But it just feels so much randomness at so many times.
yeah, and I've said this before, like in Discord call, like private Discord calls. I don't think I might have said this in a live before, but um, the term boof, bad. I've never seen more boof tins than when I went to Collecticon, and there's honestly a lot of things about Collecticon that opened up my eyes because until you really see things at a large volume perspective like Collecticon, all you're dealing with is your specific sample size and what you've done. So when you see two certs that look bad online, obviously you can look at anything online, but when you handle them in person, it's a lot different. It's not as bad as, looking at a raw card online that's full hollow and you see it in person, but it's somewhat relatable because you can't see everything in a picture unless there's, high quality pictures. And of course you have the people on eBay trying to hide stuff. So, it wasn't just two certs. Some of the worst cards I saw that were graded tens, which really made me feel bad about having so many tens, I guess, was 4 and 5 certs, and those can be kind of iffy, but I saw those are like the most rough tens. Some of them look like eights. It was really bad.
Wait, you said four certs were some of the roughest tens you saw? That's
4 and 5 certs. Yeah, it was
oh
weird.
wow. That's pretty that's gonna get some people riled up, I think. Four certs are supposed to be the strongest out there.
Well, I saw what I saw, so
No, I'm
um,
just messing with you. Like I never bought
yeah, yeah.
in.
No, I was just messing as well.
Yeah, I never remotely bought into the whole like four certs are stronger, two certs are weaker. Like it's a card by card basis. Even if there is some rough trend, at the end of the day, when you're buying a card, you need to buy the card. There are exceptions in every era. There are tens in every era, so every cert era that are actual sixes or sevens. It's just yeah. Again, going back to the whole grading thing. I've got my camera at a super weird angle. There we go. I've got you on screen and chat. Here's the card that I might crack out tonight. I found it. It was within reach, but it was just buried underneath a bunch of other stuff like this guy. I think it just came on screen for you.
Yeah, no, I saw it like 10 seconds ago, so I'm here watching with y'all now.
Yeah. Um so this is the one I showed it like a month or so ago. I showed it whenever I got it. It's got a pretty solid issue on the back, like a dent. I really need to working on my lighting. I think it's looking better overall for the stream, but like I don't have great lighting to look at the cards that are on my desk camera here. So I need to get better lighting for me too. But yeah, it's got a
I
pretty
think I
good
see it right there, though.
it's got a pretty good dent thing going on. For that to be a 3 though, I feel like I'm missing something else.
Oh yeah, that big lip at the top.
Yeah. Like it's bad. But that alone being a 3 feels a little harsh. Like maybe a 5 or something or a 4. I mean, again, plus or minus 1. Like if it's supposed to be a 4, it got a 3, like that's fair. But
See, and like I know you have
historically
a lot.
historically speaking, I mean, you shout out to Green Shiz. He's done PSA to CGC. I think he's done vice versa as well, or maybe he's only done red to blue. I forget, but yeah, CGC is less harsh on damage. It's less harsh on like individual bits of damage on an otherwise higher condition card. Like this is probably, unless I'm missing something else, this is probably a 7 with a bad ding that caused it to go to a 3. So the thought is that this should be a 5 or a 6 at CGC probably, because they'll probably give edges 5, and then everything else will be, I mean, centering will be 9, surface and corners will be 7s or something. So it would go to a 6. But sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you're fine, and I think it's because I'm lagging a little bit. So if it sounds like I interrupted you, that's internet connection. So sorry about that. But I that looks a lot better than the one that Rusty submitted, and I think he had a 5.5. That was like the first video I edited for him, and obviously I can't see the card in person, even in crisp 720p over here. But I it looks a lot better than the one that he had on his channel. So I wouldn't be shocked if you got a 6 with that. Do you think it'd be worth your time to maybe put it in like a card saver, or like a sleeve, and like set it on top of something heavy to try to like kind of curl that little ding at the top out?
That's actually one thing that I was going to talk about. The talk of the town lately, or at least in certain circles to a certain extent, Rattles videos where people are what do they call them? Polishing cards, they're doctoring cards to get higher grades. One thing that I've actually done, which to me doesn't feel like it crosses the line, but when you pull a card out of a pack, and if it's got like a lipped corner, if it's got a little bit of a corner, like just a harsh cut in the WotC arrow is fairly common. I have actually, like, through the card saver, pressed a little bit to just like flatten off, knock off that high spot. To me, I'm not adding to the card, I'm not subtracting to the card. It's a curled corner, rough cut, whatever, and I'm just smoothing that a little bit. Certain people, maybe that's a modification, maybe that's no go, maybe that's hopefully it's not too spicy of a thing for me to be saying live. But yeah, when I took
No, I
this
don't think so.
when I took this out, I intended to just like run something over it to an extent, and see if I can like push it back down a little bit. Now that I need to get a flashlight or something. It almost looks like there's a black speck. I hope it's not Sharpie. There actually is black. There's black on the edge of the card. I probably won't be able to get it noticed. Maybe I will.
I mean, if it's Sharpie, Charizard might be getting some Squirtle Squad glasses tonight.
Well, if it's Sharpie, I definitely don't want to crack and go to CGC, because if it's a CGC 5 that's inked, that will not be a plus. Okay, so in like 10 seconds or 20 seconds, you should be able to see it. I can't tell if that's just dirt. It's literally just one singular speck. I don't think someone would have been dumb enough to try to use a black Sharpie. um, really fuzzy. The camera's not focusing super well.
I can see it. So
Yeah.
if I don't know the difference in the variation in price on a first edition Charizard, and this is kind of a hot take, but not really. I think that any like substantial price difference between a 3 and a 5 is very silly, and I say that because I feel like, especially, and this is my pre-grading skills, but I think anything below a 7, I'm plus or minus 2, because I have like no idea how to grade stuff, because Obviously, you have more substantial dents, increases, and you have markings, and there's a lot more factors at play with below that, and especially with the BGS cards that I've handled, I think that anything below an 8 with BGS is really hard to pinpoint, and I think I'm like plus or minus 2 on that as well. Um, so if you crack that and it got a VG3, or it's a VG3 right now, if that got like a CGC3 and it was inked or not inked, I mean, is there like a substantial price difference in that? I mean, at that
I'm
point, it's just
assuming
authentication to me.
if it was inked, it would be that would be a big L, I would think. It is still base for a Zard. One thing that I think I joked about it at a different point in a live stream, or maybe it was just in my head planning to talk about it on YouTube. But like, if and when I do decide to crack this, say that it went south, say that it turned into my Vileplume, which I actually think I have next to me. For anyone who doesn't remember, I destroyed a Vileplume cracking it out. You'll see it in a little bit on stream. But the nice thing
I
about a
think I watched
three,
that live actually.
yeah, ones actually sell for more than threes usually. So it's like, if I damage this taking it out, I just intentionally fold it a little bit more. Maybe I tear off where it might be inked. I submit it, get the one, and then I make money. So that's how, like, again, like, that's why I'm pretty that's why I have the takes I have on grading, because as you said too, that was a really good point. Uh, plus or minus 1 is when we're talking the near mint plus grades. When you get down in the scale, it gets really silly. It gets, yeah, what's the difference between a 2 and a 4 sometimes? What's the difference between a 2 and a 5? It's feels even more arbitrary and even less repeatable. Another thing too with PSA specifically, I know some people, oh, CGC is wrong. They don't treat damage harshly enough, because like their minds have been programmed for however long they've been in the hobby, with PSA being like the lead people. PSA is not right and CGC is not wrong. They just treat damage differently. Neither one is inherently right or wrong. They just have different scales. And to me, my preference actually aligns more with CGCs, because like when you look at a Masaki card, Masaki cards are like the perfect go-to example. When you look at a gem mint Masaki card, there are PSA 10s out there that have the Masaki indents that per PSA scale should be 6s. So on Masaki cards, at times PSA is off by 4 grades because they miss it, or like the exact threshold. I mean, the way that it works, it's like, if it's there, it's a 6. If it's not there, it's a 10. Again, it's a spectrum. There are, it's not binary. It's not dent or no dent. There are um like severities of dents, but in the PSA's greater mind, all they can do is they can go 10 or they can go 6. So depending on how close you are to that borderline, like, the implications are massive. And that's why at CGC, a very, very, very light dent could give you an 8.5 surface and it could get a 9. A heavy, heavy, heavy dent would be a surface 7 and you could get a CGC 8 or 7.5 or whatever. So yeah, it's silly. Like, this card, whether the label's blue, whether the label's red, whether the card is raw, in my opinion, should go for just some amount of money. And it should be a fairly tight range. The plastic shouldn't add such a massive premium, but it does. Like, that's the world we live in. People like big numbers. People don't care about the card. They buy the grade. I mean, it makes it easier to do business that they buy the grade, but it's just crazy to me.
Label buyer here, everyone. Hello. PSA 10 collector. I agree with you though.
I understand it. Like, I don't understand it as far as, like, for me, like, I don't do it. I love it though. I love that it exists, because, like, again, it makes business easier. And I do get it, like, in many ways. Like, when you buy a 10, you're more likely to have a better condition card than when you buy a 9. Part of me that makes me a 9 collector or an 8 collector is I've seen so many 9s that are better than so many 10s. But the fact remains that if you buy 5 10s and you buy 5 9s, very, very likely, in my opinion, one of those 9s will be better than one of those 10s, but the average 10 will be fairly substantial. Well, not substantially, but will be better, noticeably better than the average 9.
Yeah,
I've not been keeping up with chat.
To kind of add to that really quick is, like, I passed up on a lot of tens for my PC because they've been, the bad certs, or where they didn't deserve tens and stuff like that. But overall, when people say buy the card, not the grade, I feel like that's not really a realistic thing. And obviously, I bought cards, PSA tens without seeing the back. And I think there's two cards in my collection in my PC that I'm gonna eventually sell and get other tens because they aren't 10 quality, which is unfortunate. So I've been, I guess, pretty lucky with the ones that I bought because, like I said earlier, you can't see everything online that you can in person. But there's a Dragonite that's from Expedition or Basic or E Series 1, and it looks like someone took sandpaper on the bottom left and just scratched the hollow foil and it got a PSA 10. It's bad. Like, it's really bad.
Nice. I just
Yeah.
noticed in chat, Ray and Thrifty are proposing that I send it to one of them to get a reader to sign it. That might actually be the play. And
That'd be super cool.
then just go authentic. Um, I've never liked
Well,
going authentic. I don't know how that works though. Like, say a card is genuinely inked. Like, say they deemed that was Sharpie. I guess you could just say like, oh, Arita signed the front, and then he accidentally caught the back of it when he was pulling the Sharpie away. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if a card is inked, but then it gets signed, do they like forgive other ink? I have no idea. The subjectivity of grading and all that, and then layering in my distaste for autographs. Now you're really getting next level. Uh,
um, well, the only concern I would have with that, and I could be wrong on this because I haven't done like a ton of research into it, but that Arita, I heard this at Collecticon and I've heard people talk about it, so someone in chat can correct me, but I think he has some license with Pokemon to where he has to write it to somebody. Like a lot of the illustrators, they can't give out just their signatures anymore because they have license with Pokemon.
yeah, personalization a lot of times is needed, which I'm not crazy about the whole autograph thing at all to begin with, and then people play the game of what people do is they get it signed. If you wipe it quick, you get the signature, you sign it to Dan, and then you just turn around and you wipe off the Dan part. I heard of people doing that. I think like you wouldn't want to use acetone or something like that, but I do think that there are things that you can do that will take off the Sharpie but not take off like the card ink. And you need to be like, I'm not condoning that. I'm not suggesting people do that. I've just years ago on E4, Discord, Facebook, wherever I saw it somewhere, people talking about it. Um, and that just feels weird. I don't know that I'll be making a autograph play with this one. Though it might, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to
I
hit up
mean,
Ray or Thrifty. When is that Arita event? Is that this weekend?
I have no idea. I can look it up really quick,
I mean,
but
I could
I
like
think I was
express
in
it.
I think I was in Red or Blue Stream and they were talking about that, and I'm extremely ignorant when it comes to autographs. Um, but they were saying that if they got like a Rita or somebody to sign something that has to be, personalized, that they would have it written like to trainer or something like that. That way it kind of can still be applicable to everyone.
Yeah, again, like the weird games people play to stonk out, to circumvent like the intent of the whole requirement of personalization. It's just all kind of weird to me. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think that I would pay any additional money for an autograph. Although Professor Oak just got me a gift. He bought me a Deoxys Hollow from Holland Phantoms, and I had him sign it. And I'm going to send it to PSA on my next submission and get a marked one with his signature on it, just because I think it'd be kind of cool to have in my personal collection.
Nice.
I can't
Yeah,
find it online.
I understand. Like, not for me. I don't really care about having autograph things in my collection or whatever, but I understand people getting it for themselves if they want. But when you're talking about all the additional value, like me talking about not believing the reproducibility of the grade, and I've gone on this rant too many times, and I'll try to make it fairly quick. I do not remotely believe in PSA's ability to authenticate signatures. To me, if there are that many people that are capable of authenticating it, there are people out there that would be capable of replicating it. If Arita signed 10,000 things over the years, there's some amount of variance in it. And again, maybe this is my bias because I'm an engineer with the worst handwriting in the world. So if I sign my name 10,000 times, the variance is like massive, nearly infinite. The variation in my signatures. Arita's an artist. Arita has a steadier hand. Arita has neater writing. I'm sure his signature is much more accurate and precise than mine and repeatable, but I still don't believe in the validity um or the accuracy of their ability to authenticate. And I've heard anecdotally, I've heard people who had things signed in person that were declined, and I heard people who have, oh, this one's fake, guaranteed, to an eBay post or whatever. So I just, yeah, I don't really buy into it too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'll kind of leave it at this, but I feel like this subjectivity, the more deep state collector that I get, the more subjectivity I realize is involved in grading, and it's like, does this really even make sense to collect what I'm collecting? I might get so upset the more I grade and just become a binder collector.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen, but I might go from tens to nines or something. I don't know. I'm still figuring out my collecting journey. I've only been doing this for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and I went from nines to eights to more like binders. I'm still figuring out where I'm at. Where's my optimal grade to collect? I still don't have that fully figured out. Oh, I got my sub count up there. I can't get this live chat overlay thing figured out. Must just be because I updated
I'm
OBS.
Yeah, I'm super ignorant when it comes to OBS. So Thrifty's saying for me just to get the Crystal Lugia and a 9. That card's hard to find in good condition in a 10 because I feel like all of them are 2 certs because people graded them early.
Mason.
So we crack it.
Mason has a good comment. If someone could make a perfect one-of-one copy of a Pokemon card with no way to distinguish it, is that card real or fake? This is where you get into like a philosophical discussion of if a fake is so good that it fools experts. Like, in the entire world, there are museums out there that have multi-million, multi-tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollar paintings that are likely fake, that are forgeries, that aren't actually painted by the one that they're attributing it to. There are likely high-end cards, high-end coins. I mean, just law of large numbers, and things are going to slip through eventually. And that's a common like doomsday question that some amount of people will ask. Like, what happens? The whole market's going to tank when someone starts replicating these things. But that's yeah. At the end of the day, though, like if everyone who looks at it thinks it's real and it's authenticated as real and experts deem it real, it is real. I mean, that's essentially it's not in that it wasn't produced at the right time with the right equipment, and but if it fools everybody, it functionally is real. So I mean, that's part of my thing with signatures too. I think signatures are so much more able to be replicated than faked because there's more variability than getting a 20-year-old card stock and a 20-year-old holofoil pattern and all this stuff done the right way. That's just more of my take on that.
Yeah, I'm just sitting over here thinking like, if I had the ability to, this is probably really spicy, but if I had the ability to make a $50 million painting and be forgery and everybody think it real, would I do it or not? Because you said philosophical, and I was just sitting there thinking, because I mean, there's I probably wouldn't do it just because that's obviously really bad because it's bad on a level of faking $1,000 card versus something that's $50 million. But that's crazy that at that scale, you would think that even people would be able to, or people would be able to authenticate those items. And when you're talking $50 million, but I guess when there's that much money involved, you really can't. You can get to the point to where people can't distinguish it because they've learned the crafts. But I don't know if I would deem that real. I think I would take where's it at? Lemon's comment and saying technically fake but effectively real. Um, I think that's my take on it.
I think isn't there some Da Vinci art, some Da Vinci painting that went for $400 million or something that the many experts in the world were saying they were very, very skeptical of it, of whether or not Da Vinci actually painted it. I'm not by any means an artist, and maybe the articles that I read or saw at the time, maybe they were just complete clickbait garbage. But I definitely remember seeing some amount of questioning going on around like a multi-$100 million painting that sold.
I'm reading it
400
right now.
million, yeah,
So
400 million
400,
feels
450
like,
million.
yeah.
So they're calling it the where was it at? The male Mona Lisa. So 450.3 million with fees, nearly $500 million. Um,
Isn't there
let's
like
see.
questions as to whether he actually painted it or not?
So this is going to take a second to read through this, but it said the painting somehow ended up in the collection of Sir Francis Cook, who in 1958 sold it through some store for just $60. Um, yeah, so I don't know, but I've also heard of people buying Rembrandts at Goodwill. So
Yeah,
um, I've legitimately like read articles. I think it was like the top 10 best Goodwill finds, and someone found like a multi-million-dollar Rembrandt in Goodwill for like $10 or something crazy.
that's a pretty good flip.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they basically said they don't know if it's real or fake, is what I'm gathering. So
And Mason says here, I think we see a scenario where a rogue PSA employee would authenticate fake signatures sent in by their friends before we would see truly convincing fake autos. Experts can detect auto pen, which is 1-to-1. Yeah, auto pen, you basically, I don't know exactly how it works, but you take a known true example and you literally just have an automated pen, a robotic controlled pen that traces over the known. So you make a true 1-to-1, and they can detect auto pen because like it's too consistent, it's too accurate. But to me, like again, I have terrible handwriting. I'm not an artist. I don't have a steady enough hand. To me, if you told someone who was, if you said, hey, here are 50 Arita signatures, high res photos. I could get them right now on eBay, PWCC, wherever. I could get 50 Arita examples. I do not remotely believe that someone couldn't be trained to replicate that within the bounds of his variability. I just don't believe it. I could be completely wrong there, but like, especially like when the money gets there to where it makes sense. And Arita is like a good one because he signs a lot, and he signs quite a bit, and it's worth quite a bit. Like there's a lot of room to do stuff. And around the time of an event, again, I'm not advocating for anything, I'm not doing anything, I'm not pursuing this, but like it would be the time to send it. 2 weeks from now, 2 weekends from now, hundreds or thousands of new Arita signatures will enter the market and they'll be going to PSA. There's no way that someone couldn't get them through there. I should end it with in my opinion, but I don't even think that's opinion. To me, like again, Arita signs 10,000 times. There's variability. All someone needs to do, they don't even need to get within that range. Like there's bounds. There's here's this end, here's this end. It's more of like it's not even it's not like a single 2D spectrum. It's more of like a 3D space. So it's like a sphere that you need to get within the confines of. And I just don't believe that someone can't get within that sphere of authenticity.
well, and something I think we kind of have to take into consideration as well. And I'm not a computer programmer or software programmer or anything like that, but I mean, in the next 10 to 20 years, if not already now, you would think that they would be able to use, similar, markers or pins that people were using back in the day, apply AI technology with some sort of, variation in the formula to where it's not going to be as consistent as auto pen. And I don't know a ton about auto pen, but like you would think that they would get to a point to where people can almost fake them to where it's like the actual person was drawing or writing that down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like if you better than an artist sitting in a room with 50 examples, feed that into a computer, and now you have, so you don't like tell the computer, don't copy exactly any of the 50 of these, but I see now like they would all be overlaid. There would be some range, stay within their bounds, stay within the range on all of it, but don't copy one of the 50 examples completely. Like to me,
Yeah.
the more I've thought about it, and I've not thought about it too extensively, I just have no faith in one, their ability to actually authenticate genuine signatures, and then two, the fact that someone can't fool them consistently eventually, with enough effort and with enough, I mean, when there's, again, box resealing, uh all the different scams that go on, when there's a way for someone to make money through malicious intent, it'll happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to yuck people's yums. I'm not trying to cause people to panic. I'm not trying to create some big counterfeiter. The thing is, like, people, autographs overall, like if you ask any collectibles expert, if you ask any historical document, historical item expert, what are the most commonly forged items, the commonly most commonly forged things just in all of the entire collectible space? Signatures. If I made up, if I guessed the number, it would be a complete, like most percentages, most statistics are made up, but some very high number of autographs out in existence are like forgeries because people get an old baseball, they scribble Babe Ruth on it, they throw it in their garage sale with some story. For a baseball they couldn't have got 50 cents for, they get some random person to gamble 25 or 50 bucks on it. They send it into PSA. It's deemed inauthentic, or I mean, occasionally maybe it's deemed authentic. But yeah, I just I don't like autos. If you like, if you want to get one and you go and you have an experience and you meet someone who you always wanted to meet, and it's the favorite card, your favorite card art in the hobby, and that's great. Like I like that people like them. I just don't really believe in it too much. Looks like we lost DNA. I don't know if he's coming back or, yeah, he's back, I think.
Yeah, I got a Oak message me in Discord, so I hopped over there to see what it was on a different tab, and then it just like completely kicked me out of this. So
Oh,
that's my.
you'll have to use your phone, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, 87% of all statistics are made up. I could have thrown a number, but kind of a meme. Everyone always throws a different number. Um, yeah, I guess this has turned into just trashing, grading, and autograph authenticating, and I
no,
guess having no plan for the stream, that's like a place that I'm just naturally gonna go to. So, uh,
I I was thinking earlier, you're like, well, I like grading because it makes, my business, a little bit easier, but here's every reason why you should and why you shouldn't buy graded cards and autographs. I just think it's kind of funny because I don't know. Like I said earlier, I think I said this like 2 or 3 times, but the more like I get familiarized with the grading process and everything, the more the more I dislike it because I thought it was just CGC at first, and now it's PA. I actually, this is a good topic. PSA damaged one of my cards today. I got an email from that, but they actually made it right by me. Did you see that in Discord by chance?
I didn't know.
Yeah, so
So they reached out to
I
you
submitted a.
saying, like, before you even got it back. Good on them that they did that, because only a couple times ever, but like I've had cards that I knew I sent in back fresh mint, no way they had the creases that they came back with, and PSA just like sent them back. No, we didn't do that. It's on you. But yeah, go on with your, how exactly did it all go down?
Yeah, so I got a Ditto Charmander from Delta Species. They're low pop. It's something that's gonna sit for a while, but I think I paid like $2 or $3 for it, and it's something I can, sell off, 75, $100, and I paid 30 to grade this one. This is one of my 30 submissions coming back. They emailed me today, and they said, hey, we damaged one of your cards, and the card was a reverse, or the card was a non-hollow, but I valued the card at $100 because I'm sure we all overvalue our cards whenever we're throwing them into grading submissions, to a certain extent. Obviously, not to hit that cap. But they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, your card graded a 10. It got damaged in the encapsulation process to where now it's graded a 9, which is super minimal. They probably could have got away with that, to be honest. Like we said, it's ±1. But because they dropped the grade, they're going to give me the $100 that I valued the card at, plus the $30 grading fee towards my overall graded submission. And one of that same card in reverse, which is, you would think a more expensive card, actually just sold at auction like last month, I think, for like $101 or something like that. But I've seen some of the other Dittos like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Pikachu sell for around $100. So it worked out for me. It's basically like I don't have to sell the card now, and I still get the card back in a 9. And Thrifty said she wanted it in a 9, so I'm giving her a super good deal. So we just messaged earlier, and when that card comes back, I'm gonna ship it to her.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, for them to reach out when they damage a 10 down to a 9. That's crazy to me because
Yeah,
that's within like the margin of error. Uh that's really strange. Interesting though. I have never
and
heard of
that,
anything like that. I've heard of damage during encapsulation where it's like clearly you've got the grooves on the card and like the card was just like pinched right in there. I mean, they had no way around. I've heard of that happening a couple times, but um that's wild.
yeah. I'm not mad about it at all though, because like I said, I get to move in a liquid card in a sense very quickly. And I wouldn't say like it's super illiquid because there is a demand for those cards, but getting $100 for it, getting what I would want out of it would probably take a little while. But yeah, I never thought that they would reach out because CGC's damaged some of my cards. There's been a couple instances with some vintage hollows with PSA where they've scratched them, but from a 9 to a 10, like you said, it could be, in shipping, or there could be something in the sleeve that I didn't notice, or whatever it is that could have, caused that damage.
Hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm back and forth on this Charizard. I feel like whatever that black thing
Crack it.
is, I feel like there's so much whitening on the card. Like even if it was ink, I could just like take my nail or take a knife and I could just like scratch away the top layer and create more whitening, but remove the ink. Like if it is ink, I think it's just a particle, like a dirt or something, some kind of grime that would just come off. I
Well,
kind, I kind of want to crack it.
like you said, yeah, I would crack. I don't know. What does that card sell for in a 3? I'm looking at comps right now.
I bought it in a big lot, full full graded base set. It was mixed shadowless and first edition. Um,
Mhm.
I think I paid 4 grand for a complete set. I bulked off like 90 of the slabs for a grand. I've got 3 grand into all the hollows. Most of the other hollows are probably only worth. I mean, I might have a few $100. I probably have $2,500 into it or something.
Wow. Yeah,
Like the
so
the play is probably
here's
to
a buy it
just
now for
4,700. That's a list by now. I see.
there's a buy it now that sold. I don't know if it's completed. It says completed for 5,250. Here's an auction for 3,300. Um, it seems like they're a little all over the place. Here's one for 3,200 at auction. So I mean, $3,000 to $4,000. What does a one sell for?
Skippy says just draw over it with a blue marker. And then that's actually an interesting thing though too. I think without even realizing it, I might have just said something controversial too. If it's inked, scrape it off. Now I'm modifying a card by removing something from it. Like, is that bad? Is that theoretically? it's not trimming. It's not like trying to. I don't know. When you get into things like that on such a poor condition card, I don't even know where I completely land. The whole polishing hollow thing, though, that's really interesting. To see how that'll play out. I had it in the few weeks before Rattle made that first video. I had seen some videos with like sports cards being polished, and I know a few people behind the scenes in different discords and Facebook groups. I think we're looking at the videos, thinking about it, talking about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's again, when you're talking about a 3, it's like to some extent, who cares? And again, maybe that's controversial. A 3 going to a 5, a 4 going to a 6, 7. Like, man, if people would just buy the card, it wouldn't even be an issue, right? Like, look over the front and back pictures. Don't look at the labels so much, but people buy labels, so that's why the controversy comes in.
Yeah, but like, I mean, here's a 1 that sold for $3,200, so it's the same thing as a 4.
That's the thing. Like, if I crack, the only thing that would hurt me, if it gets inked, that's gonna hurt me. If it gets inked, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
hurt. I don't know how much. Let me see if I can find like a CGC inked.
They get
There's
the
a
green label too, don't they?
Yeah, there's a floor to some extent. Like a base first Zard, whatever condition, even if it's inked, it's not gonna be worth less than $1,000. I mean, you are talking about losing $2,000 or something would suck, but uh,
Here's an authentic one. It says PSA 6 or 7 in the title, which means nothing, obviously. But it says 30. I mean, it sold for $36.50 at auction as authentic. And this is a definite PSA 1 for sure. It's got a huge crease on the left side of it.
PSA 1
I can
Mount
see it.
Fuji Pikachu that Zhao posted on his Instagram. It looked perfect. I actually have. I've talked about it and shown it before. I have a PSA 1 Magmar EX that like almost definitely was meant to be a 10. They just forgot to put the 0 or whatever. Somehow they made an error when they went to print the label and they turned it into a poor 1. But it's like you can't get a 1 and like if a card's a 6 and you see no issues, you're missing a dent, or PSA saw a dent that wasn't there or whatever. If you have a 1 though and it looks perfect, they just typed in the wrong number or something.
I'd be interested to see, to add to that, if like whenever however they print the labels, if they're typing in the numbers. I mean, it would have to be that way, because if they're typing in the numbers, I would assume that the rest of the label would, or the condition of like EX or VG would populate with it, because I wouldn't think that they would want their employees typing VG, 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, if they just miss a 0, then that's a pretty bad mess up, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much would it cost you to regrade that? That's another question.
Oh, yeah. With CGC, it's gonna be $50 maybe. With PSA, I would declare it at like $1,000 or something. But it would probably, I mean, realistically, it's like $2,500. Let's say it costs $150 at PSA, which kind of sucks.
So if it's ink, you're gonna sub it. If it's ink, you're gonna either clip it or do something to let it get the 1, I guess. But I mean, if it's already in the 3 and it didn't get inked, then you wouldn't think it would get inked with CGC. But CGC seems to be a little bit more on top of it as far as recoloration or recoloring and ink goes.
Well,
in my opinion,
Brad, the Zard Hunter, said, yeah, I don't know if you saw a couple of James' recent shorts, and he went live earlier today. I didn't catch the whole thing. I caught the first like 10 or 15 minutes, but so he drew a Poliwhirl Swirl on the belly of a Charizard, and I think it got graded without, I forget if that was graded with CGC or PSA, but he put a Poliwhirl Swirl on the belly of a base unlimited Charizard and got it graded. Maybe that one did come back inked, but Cam drew like a cigarette in the mouth of a Charizard and drew like a few different things on it. He turned the 100 damage into 1,000, and CGC graded it without the green label. they didn't put inked on it. Like, again, obviously, they're all humans. They make one-off mistakes, but like, when you're grading 12 million cards a year, if they only make mistakes on, let's see how good I can do math off the cuff. If they make mistakes on 1% of cards, that would, like, 1% would be way too much, and that would be 120,000 cards a year. But if they make mistakes on 0.1%, 1 out of 1,000, like, that's 12,000 cards a year they're making a mistake on. 1 out of 1,000, that's not unreasonable. They're all humans, but like, yeah, it was funny though. For he made it 1,000 damage. He drew like a cigarette in his mouth or whatever, and it wasn't inked. Like, it was just a CGC, whatever it was, CGC 1 maybe. James was speculating that maybe inked is only labeled as inked if it's malicious. So like, if you ink with a blue Sharpie to try to hide whitening, that's malicious. They do the green label so that it's very obvious to everyone. If you're like scribbling all over the hollow, if you're like drawing over Charizard, maybe they don't label it inked anymore because it's like so obvious. That doesn't fully make sense, but I think that was part of the theory. I don't really know.
I mean, I assume he doesn't plan to sell the card, so if I was him, it might be just worth, knowing to crack and resub the card just to see what happens.
I think I'm gonna crack it.
You're gonna crack it?
I think so. I've got the tools at the ready. Again, the downside is almost fixed. It's a $3,000 card. I have like $2,500 into it, so I could sell it. I could break even, maybe make a little money. I forget exactly how the lot worked out, but if I get a CGC 5, I feel like I made. Well, I guess I should look up a CGC 5.
We have a crack it from Peak. We have a don't crack it from Ernesto.
A CGC 5 went for $4,000. Throw up a poll.
You should throw up a poll, yeah, for crack it or don't crack it, and then let chat decide.
Crack.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Crack, no
I
crack.
just noticed
Let's
that
go.
my tapestry matches your playmat. Oak pointed that out.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, shout out to I don't remember. Let me find it in my DMs really quickly. Shout out to Amplitude. Full Metal Energy is who he bought the playmat from, but Amplitude is. Let me search on Instagram quickly. I'm so bad with people's names to begin with, but when you start having a different username on different platforms, I'm even worse. But yeah, Amplitude just sent it to me. He's like, you and Nick. He sent me 2 of them. I got to send one to Nick or bring it to Denver. Unified Collectors on Instagram and on eBay. He's like, you guys are always talking about that art, how much you love it. So I just figured I'd send you one. Crack is winning at 77%.
Yeah, it seems like we're cracking a Charizard tonight. I've got this playmat. I bought this a while back. It was like $20 on eBay. I've kind of got it messed up from working, but let's see, get this pulled up. I'm a big Gengar fan.
Nice. I like Gengar a lot too. You can't see it now, but I've got a couple of them above me. People have been having shorts lately that are like popping off. So if this goes well, maybe it'll turn into a short. If it goes poorly, maybe it'll turn into a short. Either way, I have seen people, a lot of shorts lately coming out from at least people who I'm subscribed to.
I caption, hopefully this isn't the caption, I destroyed my first edition Charizard.
Lemon says the downside is too great. A 3 is great, sell as is. What is the downside? Like, if it ends up inked at CGC,
one sold for $3,200.
Yeah, like if I turn it into a 1, it's still $3,000. If it goes inked at CGC, it's gonna be like an inked 5. I can try to get $3 or $4,000 for it, but I'd probably just crack it, send it back to PSA. I'd lose like a couple $100 in grading fees, and I'd lose some time. But and then who knows? I mean, maybe PSA the second time around declines to get it graded because it's inked. Maybe they return it. bare hand crack it with no tools, and it should make a nice short.
Yeah.
Oh
I
god.
I mean, the real question is, should you even crack it in general? Because I mean, the prices, like we said, there's the subjectivity of the conditions of the cards. It seems like they're really all over the place. So I think if you listed for as a 3 PSA, 4 grand, and this is my opinion, you're probably just as likely to command that $4,000 as a CGC 4 or 5. Kind of a hot take, and I don't know if you agree with that, but
Yeah, potentially. I feel like I think 5 at CGC is kind of conservative. Like I honestly think it could be a 6 or so. If I were to get a 6, now we're
okay,
really talking.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Maybe not. I don't know. It's all again. Once you get that low in the scale, it's tough.
I
It
feel like
gets
people,
tough.
and you can't really cover everybody with a statement, but I feel like people who are buying first edition Charizards probably have a decent idea of kind of the grading scales. At least you would think.
Yeah, these consistently sell for like 3 grand.
That's what I was saying. But here's a 5.5 CGC at this one says error actually. Let me see what's going on with this. Here is a this got OC. That's a 5.5. That one sold for 5,100. Um,
We're
here's a
gonna
6.5 that sold for 5 grand.
CGC.
Yeah, here's a 5. So a CGC 5 sold, and these are all auctions, right? So I don't know when they ended. I don't know how big the accounts are. So here's one with Rusty that hit a 6.5 that graded sold for $5,000. There's another one with a different seller who had a excellent 5 with CGC and it sold for 4 grand. So I mean, you can potentially make $1,000 or $2,000 roughly if they're selling for 3,000, 3,400 bucks. I mean, I would say like 500 to 1,500 bucks by cracking it. So I think it's worth a shot.
One thing I was contemplating doing too, like if this goes well, just buying up. Like I'm actually gonna search right now. What are the cheapest available? Just PSA anything. PSA Charizards on the market. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care. Just buy like 3 or 4 of them. Do them all at once. Looks like the
Be a
lowest.
crazy looking PSA submission, like 4 or 5 first edition Charizards.
Yeah. Looks like the cheapest one. I still haven't hit it. So many foreign ones. So many not graded ones. Looks like the cheapest one is a GMA 4 for 4,500 bucks. So there's not many options out there. I'd have to wait for an auction.
The
There's a
fact that
there's a
GMA
3
is
listed
graded
for
a first edition Charizard is
4,700.
funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's only battle it. There's not a ton of options. Yeah, if I just listed it as a 3 for like 4 grand, I'd probably get an offer like 3,500 and it would just sell. But that's not as fun. I don't yeah, maybe the autograph is the play. I don't know. Let's just get the show on the road. I don't have a I don't have a Ziploc bag. I'll just close my eyes while I crack it so I don't go blind. And I'll put it into a sleeve for when I do the initial crack.
You can just cover it with a vol plume.
Yeah.
Let's
We'll do
see.
we'll do it live. Ooh, that was nice. That was clean. I do think too, I think it was the Zard Hunter. I think Brad said that butter knife is the way to go. I didn't bring one down. I don't feel like running up to get one. Radar it uses the butter knife, and I think it does make sense. Uh, with the screwdriver, you're only like half the width of the label area, so you're putting more force, like more psi, where you're prying on the case. You're more likely to get like a small jagged crack on that spot. Whereas with a butter knife, you've got twice the width. You're prying more apart on the two pieces of case versus like prying in a small finite area and prone to like cracking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here we go though.
Um,
Let's see what happens. Oh, like
I'll
butter.
be quiet and let you concentrate. I'm watching with chat, so if I'm completely quiet for a solid minute,
Yeah,
or
your
if I
reaction's
hear
gonna
Dan
be
scream, I'll know something's
your reaction's gonna be very delayed or non-existent. But she's free.
yeah. Nice.
I haven't inspected it yet. I'm trying to clear all the shards, but she's free.
So when did you grade that?
I didn't grade it. I bought it in that lot. I paid 4 grand for a complete graded. It was all graded. Um, it wasn't all
I
base
thought it was raw
first.
whenever you said that.
No, it was a so that black thing's not coming off.
Yeah. So Peak said, "Time to scream, let's go" for the short. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe it's coming off. Ugh. Again, my light is like bad for me. I don't have probably can't you can't even see what I'm doing. Problem is it's like either I can see or you can see. I can't really show stream. I'm trying to scratch this black off.
Yeah, it feels like I'm just like talking to you on the phone while watching a silent live stream is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So
I'm scratching it with my nail. I think it kind of went away. People are going to be like cringing probably. Oh, he's touching it with his bare hands. I mean, it's a 3. Like I don't really feel too nervous about touching it with my bare hands, but it's still got that little speck, that little black speck.
yeah, and
I
if you if you happen to leave stream, then you can watch the recap on Rattle Pokemon when Dan gets labeled as an card alter.
Oh God, I probably will. I think drama sells. I think it's good for the sub count.
For sure. Yeah, so like Pete said, you ready to start shilling Mezu while we're cracking a first ed Zard?
Yeah. So here's what like I'm gonna use the back end of my screwdriver because it's kind of rounded. Like through the card saver, you just kind of like rub it, and I think you can like flatten out that little bit of a lip. And again, it's not adding, it's not taking away. To me, that's like fair play. But it's funny because like that video where they were polishing hollows, they were actually doing that same thing, and that was part of their like that was what did they call it? The Poke Spa or something. That was part of the spa treatment to to modify and
So
increase the grades of cards.
so they have a video of them polishing cards. I haven't seen that.
Rattle did a couple videos on it, yeah. Um yeah.
I saw it. I saw his video, but I didn't see the one where they actually were polishing and showing like the process of it. So I might have to go back and rewatch those.
I saw one was linked. I saw a Kaboom Tom Brady that was linked a while ago in the Pokenomics Discord. It was like a 15-minute video of a guy multiple times, like spraying on a microfiber cloth, whatever this polish was, polishing away. Like you could actually see some scratches, and then he'd polish it, and they'd be gone. Like you could actually see, uh, pretty decent improvements to the card surface. So that's again that's just like another reason that I'm not a label buyer. I don't really buy the super high end. A couple scratches that I can't even see like at arm's length, they don't bother me. I At the end of the day, like I want to have I basically when I'm done, like when I if and when I ever like get out of the hobby, I'm gonna have like WotC binders. I probably won't have hardly any graded cards. To me, just the premium doesn't make sense. Maybe if that vastly changes over the years, I will. But yeah, I don't know. Just almost universally, does this make you a Pokemon massage therapist? Yeah,
I
I can't get rid of the black speck. I don't think I'm gonna like take a knife to it or anything, but it doesn't scratch off with my thumbnail.
You should hit it with a phone light and show it on camera. That way we can try to see it.
I tried. I can't really get it. Can't really get it to show too well. Try one more time.
And while we're doing this, we got 33 likes and we got 67 people watching. If y'all can hit the like button, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Appreciate that. It's right, like part of the reason that it's hard to show, it's right where that dent thing is. So it's I think that's part of the issue. Like I'm highlighting the dent, I'm trying to highlight where the black ink is, but it's right where the dent is, so it's like getting washed out. It's such a small, when you look at the edge of the card, like you see the white, like so it's not bleeding onto the edge.
It looks like a little bit of like gunk or something from on my ends.
I really think it is gunk. I need, sounds kind of scary, but like I need a knife. I need like a, maybe I can use,
If you take a knife to it, you better put that on stream. We need to see Dan taking a knife to a first edition Charizard.
I'm gonna use this. It's like a file folder. It's like one of the plastic things for the labels. I'm gonna see if I can get. Okay, here we go. I might have it on. You might be able to actually. Problem is, again, my camera's in such a bad position. It's like way here. Let me move it closer.
I'm just laughing at Mr. Walrus. He said, "I don't like what's happening!" Exclamation point.
I mean, it's only a base first Charizard. They printed hundreds of thousands of them. There's a lot of them out there. Worst case scenario, I mean, I'm not going to completely destroy it. Like, it won't cease to exist. You might see it there. Might actually. I'm going to try to get it where it's on camera. It's right there.
I vote we get 10 cards and we lay them out and you mix them all up and then we play what's that game called? Flip it and rip it.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem to be coming off. But it doesn't seem to be ink either, so I don't know what's going on. It's just annoying me. Can you... I think I've taken it off and on the screen like 10 times now, but you've probably gotten a little bit of a glimpse at it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it right now. Yeah, it's super, super small. At 720p coming in clutch right about now.
Yeah.
Someone said exclamation point report NSFW content. For anybody who just hopped in, I saw that Retro said this, but Dan just cracked a first edition base Charizard, and he's trying to get some gunk off of it, and we're sitting here watching him try not to damage it.
I think I just made the whitening a bunch worse, but I think it's gone now. If I can get my camera to focus. I believe it's gone now. Because I just turned the white... Yeah, I just made the whitening a lot worse, but it's gone. So I think we made money.
So you wouldn't know the difference in the grading scale for like gunk to whitening, obviously, like that ratio, like obviously that's completely subjective. I would take it, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like you see now that it just looks like there's more whitening.
I think it looked better the other way, but from I guess a grading perspective, you would think the opposite. I'd rather have, or that. I mean, you'd think dirt would be worse and like stuff stuck to it, but who knows?
And there's definitely some grime on the card otherwise. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's little specks of, like, black in the... Not black, like, brownish in the Pokeball. Like, just gunk. Whatever you'd want to call it. Gunk. BSA 6 now.
No, I'm laughing at Thrifty. She said, cool, so now it's a 4. Sick.
I'm interested to
Basic had a
see
good idea.
what was his idea.
He said sell raw. I bet you could probably command a premium even raw for it.
You know what? Yeah, the Zard Hunter just said I don't see the dent anymore. I feel like I traded whitening. I traded a dent for whitening, and I think I plussed. I think I profited. This might be a PSA 7 now. Have you owned like I've owned everywhere on the scale. I've graded I've graded every grade, not every half grade. But to me the dent almost feels gone and there's just whitening. Like I've owned again, a Masaki can be a gem mint card with a Masaki mark and it's a PSA 6. But if you get a PSA 6 with just like straight up damage, or like not damage, but like wear over time, sixes are pretty rough. Like I much prefer the visual appeal of a Masaki marked 6 than like a 6 due to hollow scratches and whitening and gunk and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
for
Like
sure.
this feels like a 6. 6 not due to dent, but 6 due to like this feels like a 6 due to just wear now. I got 7s that look so much worse than that. So is the play PSA now? If I
I
send it
think
to
the play.
PSA, if I send it to PSA, someone's gonna send PSA this video. There's probably someone who works at PSA watching this. And they're probably gonna give me a
I,
2, but it's like, oh, it's like, give me the 1. I don't care. I'll break even. Oh
Yeah.
God.
It's like Thrifty said, or not Thrifty. Ivy said, send it to GMA. That's the move. So
GMA
yeah, we
9.
got a GMA Excellent 4 for $4,500 over here. Who would grade a
Oh
first edition
man.
Charizard with GMA? That's so funny to me.
Mason, I'm not polishing. I'm not buffing. I'm just
Altering.
scraping corners, creating whitening. All I'm doing, you know what I actually want to do too, and I think we're gonna do that next. So we just did everything we did with the Charizard. James, ZNG Emporium, he put out like a he didn't put out a challenge, but he had a challenge he had a competition between him and Cam. Who could grade a CGC 1? Who could take a card and do more damage to it to improve the premium of selling it? I kind of want to I have 500 Greninja Gold Stars. I kind of want to take one and try to get a CGC 1. I've never graded a CGC 1. It's way harder to do than a PSA 1. Like PSA 1, I could just fold it in half twice, send it, and it's a PSA 1. Easy. James folded his Mew 16 times, I think he said. 16 creases on it, and he got a CGC 2. The issue is, so this is like an actual instructing moment. For anyone who doesn't know how CGC works for calculating like the total grade, I don't think he got subgrades on it, but if you get 2 subgrades that match, whatever they are, your grade can't be higher than that. So if you get 2 CGC 1 subgrades out of the 4, you hit a CGC 1. So what James did, he got himself a CGC 1 on the surface with all the creases. His corners were probably a 7. His edges were probably a 7. His centering was probably a 9 or something. So if you don't have the 2 subgrades that are the lowest matching, you can get 1 higher than the lowest subgrade. So with his Surface 1, that's why he got a CGC 2. Teaching moment. James, if you're out there listening, that's where you screwed up. You need to make 2 components of the card a 1 to get a 1. So I think what I'll do is I'll fold it a couple times to get the Surface 1, and then I'll just rip off a corner or like, I don't know, I'll just take the screwdriver and like dent every corner or then like whiten all the edges. Run it over sandpaper. But you need to get 2 aspects to get a 1. And I mean 3 aspects would be even better because then it would be like a true 1, right? You'd have a centering of a 9 and you'd have a 1 corners, surface, and edges. That's like a true 1.
You know what I think you should do? So I just grabbed a random energy card. I think you should fold it like this, and then literally put it in a card saver and just submit it to them like this, and see what happens. Just be like, here you go, CGC.
I think we were talking about it on Thrifty's channel, or I've been on so many lives lately, and I have such a bad memory. But somewhere we were joking, or yeah, I think it was Thrifties. I forget. We were joking though, or maybe it was Pokey Flips. I have no idea. We were talking about like trying to get the one, folding it, like, and then just like at the end, don't flatten it out, don't put it in a penny sleeve and put it in a card saver. Literally just send it in the box, loose, smushed between two other card savers, or yeah, inside of a card saver folded. Like, make them have to take it out, unfold it, and then grade it. Like, maybe I'll do that. It's
I think that'd be really funny. You should do a submission video doing that.
it feels bad in some ways because it's like, but that's why I take this card. The grading fee is $13.50. My total amount of money that I can lose is $15, right? Like, the downside is known and it's fixed. I'm not gonna actually like. I'm probably not gonna actually sell it. I'm probably just gonna keep it. Because no one's gonna want to buy it for a premium. It's just like, I want to learn the scale. I want to see what it takes to get a one. So I might spend like 40 or $50, send in 3 or 4 of these to learn the scale.
Well, I mean, what really value are you adding of figuring out what gets a CGC one? I mean, is there a scenario where you're trying to submit to get a CGC one?
So again, James didn't challenge me, but he had a competition between him and Cam, and he lost. And I commented on his video. I commented like, "What an amateur!" So I need to go back and I need to show him up. Like, if you need to get a one, I'll show you how to get a one. Oh, Mason just sent me a picture on Discord of a one. I think you can like tear off corners. You can like tear off. Oh yeah, let me.
Ivy's got a one too. She's got that, or is it a one? That washing machine Charizard. Is that a one?
I believe so. Yeah. I'm gonna try to pull this up. I think. Where are we? Okay. I'm gonna pull this up on screen. Yeah. So here's what Mason just sent me in Discord. It's a CGC1 Kabutops from Skyridge. The entire okay, so it's got 3 ones. It's got surface, corners, and edges 1. Part of one corner is missing. A large part of one edge is missing, and it's probably folded. So this is like a true one. It's a thing of beauty.
It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
it's missing a corner.
You just need to go big. Like, if you're gonna go for the one, you need to go big.
Yeah, do you think that would grade burn damage? I've never seen a burn damage card.
Oh god, I have no idea.
Yeah, what you could do is you could like test the parameters and send them one like that. You could like cut off a corner with scissors. You could light one on fire, put one through the washing machine, and just try to figure out what gets a one and what doesn't.
Oh god, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think it was it Skippy Effects? He said, "This is making me uncomfortable. I used to like these streams. Sorry, everybody."
Yeah. Anytime like something is ridiculous is being talked about, I go back to the Poke Flips where we had James and Cam on, and I showed like a Vivid Voltage PSA 8 booster pack, and James was like, "What are we doing here?" I just hear it in my head in his voice every time something like this is going on. Oh
yeah, I'm slowly working my way through that. I missed that initial podcast, but I'm slowly working my way through the Poke Flips kind of, I guess you could say, like discography or all the videos. But I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through that one. I was driving the other day and I was listening to that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. He was like, "What are we doing grading Vivid Voltage booster packs here?"
Yeah. If you look at the front of this Charizard though, like it is pretty rough overall on the surface. Like, I don't know what I'd call it exactly, but this card was well loved. It spent a lot of time outside of sleeves. It's got various scuffs and scrapes all over the surface. Like, this might just get I might just get a CGC3. I have no idea when you get that low. But it could be a CGC3. It almost looks like it might have a binder dent too a little bit. Now that I look at it, so it had the thing at the top and it had a binder dent. Yeah, I might just get wrecked on this, but we'll see.
I mean, like you said, I think you're obviously a lot more, intelligent than this type of stuff than I am. But when it comes to what I just looked at between auctions and buy it nows, I mean, it seems like if you're really patient, you could just yield a premium from anything from a 1 to a 5. And if you're just going to auction it, they're going to sell anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000. I think if I'm going after like a first edition Blastoise or Charizard or Venusaur and it's a 3 or a 5, I'm just going to pretty much take it as an authenticated raw copy that's going to sit in a binder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The whole slab optimization. I had that one video, that one live a few weeks ago. One submission down, 10 cards that I graded. I only upgraded one and I downgraded like 4 of them. So I've been off to a poor start on my slab optimization journey, but we'll have to see how the bulk subs go.
Do you see what Peak said?
No, you need to get
You should read
creative
that.
with a
That's a really funny
stand.
comment.
Document the entire process, dunk it, tape it to a kickball, and play with the kids. Spill beer on it. Yeah, I don't like those like super like I wouldn't damage truly, not that a base first Charizard is like rare or scarce. There were literally hundreds of thousands of them printed. There's a lot of them out there. Throughout my entire life, you will always be able to buy a base first Charizard. It's not like you're damaging a 1 of 6 in the world or 1 of 100 in the world trophy card. Now someone's not going to get a chance to own it, something like that. But still, like base first Charizard, I respect the history, and I'm not gonna destroy a card like that. I think that was a big thing in 2020. Different Twitch streamers like trying to get reactions out of people, trying to make people like upset, and I'm not trying to do that here. Um, I feel like it's fair and reasonable to damage a couple of a card I literally have 500 of, and it's a dollar card. It's one of my favorite cards too. So whatever I end up doing to this Greninja, or maybe 2 or 3 Greninjas, I'm probably gonna keep the cards. And I genuinely, I kind of want to know. Like I have some ridiculous examples of cards that I didn't do it to. Maybe I should grade one of those. Like I have some cards. Oh, I have no idea where they are though. I have some cards that are like destroyed that I got in collections over the years.
Are we damaging the Greninja on stream? I really hope so, and I think everybody in
Maybe.
chat would like to see that too. When
Should I
when
pull
those
it?
hit like I think yeah, definitely pull it. I think whenever I don't remember what my buy price was, but I think it was like $3 or $4. When I found those sealed copies of Greninja Gold Star for like $3, I was just kind of full sending it, and I think I have like 80 or 90 copies of those over here in my closet, just because, like you said, that's probably one of my favorite promos of all time.
So are we gonna hurt the frog, or are we gonna not harm the frog? Let me while that poll's running. While that poll is running, I might know where a stack of like abysmal cards are. Like I might have a CGC one. So far we're at 100% hurt frog.
And while you're at it, grab a lighter if you have one, and let's
There's no way I'm gonna light a card on stream. I'm like, you'll hear my smoke alarm go off. My entire backdrop will be on fire. I'll like that will not end well. No way.
I would get clipped so hard you just lighting cards on fire on stream.
And again, like I'm
That'd be
not
so
doing this
funny.
to hopefully no one's actually taking offense to this. Hopefully no one's actually like these cards are like I genuinely want to know what the lower end, how the lower end of the scale works exactly. People have these weird things out there where they want to get like a 1 through 10 collection, and maybe someday I'll help someone complete a 1 through 10 Greninja Gold Star collection when I have a stronger understanding of how the CGC scale works.
Hey,
Yeah,
Pete, chill out.
we're
Chill
at,
out
we're
with the
at
mean comments.
90%. I'll be right back. I'll be able to hear you if you just want to keep chat entertained. I got to go
Yeah,
into a different
yeah,
room,
for
so
sure.
I'll see if I can find a stack of like destroyed stuff to Maybe I don't have to hurt the frog, even though 90% of people want me to.
90%. Let me vote. Chat, what should I vote? Should I vote hurt frog or don't harm frog? Let's see. Yeah, I vote hurt frog. So we're 88%. Lights card on fire and stares at screen while it's burning. Did I make money? That's super funny. So basically, you're against hurting frog. I feel like we might upset some people if we do that. Yeah, that's true. We could both harm it, and we could get a pedigree from CGC on stream. I don't know if I could do that though. I'm not trying to learn the CGC scale that much.
Found a main frog, please.
I feel like if you bend one, I kind of have to bend one too, or try to destroy it, and you can try to get CGC to give us a pedigree.
Oh, frog is not overrated. I just have 500 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I found my
really
special delivery Bidoof. I don't know where. Yeah, I have about 500 of them.
Wow. I thought I had a lot.
I might have a box here that has droid cards in it.
Is that special delivery Bidoof messed up?
No, it was just hanging out with all these. I have a bunch of when you send a Troll and Toad Evo, they like will reject cards. Like the whole meme of Troll and Toad near mint. Troll and Toad actually rejects cards that are below their standards, and I have a few collections of like rejected cards here. So some of these are probably pretty rough.
I'm torn right now because I want you to hurt Frog, but there's a lot of people saying I get like Basic and Ivy are in here saying don't harm Frog, and they're the homies. So
he did nothing wrong. I do like Frog.
What are we doing right now?
Retirement fund. I have no idea. 64 people are watching it though.
Yeah. We out here.
I literally have somewhere, no idea where it would be right now, but I have a base unlimited trio. Somebody took the backs off the cards. Like there's no way it wasn't intentional. Somebody literally, like I have the holofoil layer of a Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur base unlimited. They just like they were gonna reback them and then they never put the back on them or something. They literally just like peeled them off, almost like Ditto style. But you can do that with any card to some extent. Like these are cards that were rejected by Troll and Toad. Some of these aren't even that bad.
I've had some really bad near mint from Troll and Toad, but I've also had several 10s from Troll and Toad that came out of them. I've got several of the Troll and Toad cards in some of my upcoming submissions that should be graded here soon. But I mean, because from my understanding, Troll and Toad, they grade them themselves, right? And then, when, like you said, whatever they don't deem as heavily played or whatever, they'll send it back to you.
Yep. I don't know. I'm probably not going to hurt the frog. Seems like people don't want the frog hurt.
Yeah.
I wish
we got people saying don't hurt it, and then we got people saying spit on the card. We're a little all over the place.
I've got some pretty rough cards here. I'll have to find. I'm gonna do a submission tomorrow. Like I can definitely find within like 10 minutes. Oh, here we go. Here's an Armaldo Hollow Rare. Someone would ask me, why did you try to send this to Troll and Toad? I literally sent thousands of cards from collections that I bought, but this Armaldo, it's a foreign language and it has like crazy creases. You'll see it soon. But this would not be a CGC one. I think this would get a one surface definitely for those creases. Maybe the corners would get like a 2 or a 3. The corners are pretty bad, but I genuinely don't think this would be a CGC one. This would be like 3
That's a
or
bad card.
yeah, this would be like a 2 or a 3, I think, at CGC.
That's wild.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough.
Was that card in the collection? I take it that you got that.
I have gotten through some of them, but I have monster boxes of cards like that I acquired over the years. Oh, there's some verses in here.
Hey,
I,
what's good?
I thought I never even owned verses before that recent collection that I bought. But here are some verses that were rejected. I don't know what's wrong with them. But yeah,
Versus
I'm
is fire.
let me take away the drama, let me take away the suspense. I will leave the frog be. He hurt nobody. Sounds like some people don't like it, and I'm not out here. I mean, I do. It is my favorite card too. Well, one of my more favorite modern cards too. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
do
we'll
him
just
dirty.
damage him off stream, so that way you guys don't have to see it.
I definitely have candidates for I have candidates for CGC one that I don't even have to touch. Somewhere it's like a small box. It's probably an ETB. Like if I showed you them, if I found it, people would be like, "Why did you not throw these away 5 years ago when you got them?" I'm a hoarder. That's why.
I mean, you could throw them in lots of 100 on eBay, and probably get 10-20 bucks for them.
I used to periodically do that, and then it just got to the point where like I don't know. I haven't in a long, long time. There's a lot of like this Absol has a full crease going through it, but again, not even close to a CGC one. Ooh, Staff Suicune, Staff Roku. Foreign though.
You're
Why
just
do I have?
casually pulling out fire here. You got verses, staff cards.
Okay, so we went from
What's
trash and grading. We went from trash and grading, trashing autographs, potentially killing a frog. Now we're just like looking in Dan's mystery boxes. Oh, this is all foreign. Maybe it didn't all get rejected for being destroyed. Maybe it just got rejected for being foreign. Look at this. This is I got
Wait, does Troll and Toad sell verses? Are those actually in good condition? Because Troll and Toad doesn't sell a ton of Japanese stuff.
they recently drastically changed their requirements around non-English. For it to be Japanese, I think it needs to be $35 plus, and then they don't touch any other languages at all, I don't think. They used to do almost everything. Maybe I sent these out around the time. Man, I got like E-Series hollows. I got it. There we go. Deoxys.
Wait,
It's
I heard, wait, what?
EX Emerald Deoxys hollow. PV. HP is PV. Is that someone said that's Italian, I think?
I'll look up one. I'll look up one of the words on there.
Oh, Staff Ente. Abe was asking for. Ooh, Charmander. There's a nice little Italian Charmander. Oh yeah, I laid down Roku and Suicune. Just was there an Entei? I guess I could be doing more of this. Sorry, I'm doing it off camera.
So the comet or comment or whatever is on the Deoxys. It says it's Spanish. I can't see any of the other text. Yeah, yeah. Someone said lots of Spanish cards.
Oh, here's like
Dude, you got some
a
heaters in here.
yeah.
And by the way, Troll and Toad doesn't sell Versus series from what I can see, so those might be in good condition.
Here's an English Victreebel Aquapolis Hollow. That's not like destroyed. It's actually in decent shape. It looks like. Yeah, so we're doing Dan's mystery boxes now. This is I looked for a bunch of damage cards and I turned up just like, hey, we got the band Neo Genesis Moo Moo Milk or whatever. I
Yo,
f-
just don't be showing this stuff on stream. I'll just Venmo you a quick 100, and you can just send it all to me.
I need I have less than I did a year or two ago, but I still have too many monster boxes. And a lot of it's not all this. Like it's not all just heaters. This is a pretty solid stack that I pulled out. I mean, some damage, some foreign. It's just an absolute mystery box.
Was that no symbol? The jungle?
Oh god, like an hour ago. The Scyther? No, it
Oh
has a
well, yeah,
symbol.
yeah. Okay, I forgot that you're way far ahead of me.
I'm already on like 5 stacks later by the time you see it. No, that
What did you
Scyther wasn't.
got some hidden legends in there? There's another Deoxys. There's a few Deoxys cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. We actually talked. I was talking with somebody again on a recent stream or recording about whatnot consignments. I think that was on Pokeflips. Um, these cards, like I don't sell on whatnot. These cards aren't worth my time. I don't think some of them probably, but they're generally not worth my time to go through and like individually photo and list on eBay. But I have talked. I had a couple people reach out to me actually. I'm probably gonna be whatnot consigning. Like here's a oh it's PV though. It's more Spanish I guess, but it's a Spanish Dark Raichu first edition. Like I have no
Dude,
idea
people on
what that's
Whatnot will
yeah
buy the heck out of that.
I have
I
no
mean, if they're
idea what it's
buying
worth, but it
8.5,
yeah it's worth something. Like it's worth a lot of these. Like I have hundreds of cards here. They're all worth. Here's the versus series again. I'll look at them closer in a second. These are all
is it the hollow
multi-dollar
rainbow?
cards. Like there's a
Dude, in
which
some of those Versus series, even the non-hollows and nines and tens, they sell for a considerable amount of money.
oh I don't think these are gonna be like nines or tens, but
I didn't know if you had anything worth nines in there. I didn't know if they just rejected the Versus because it's Versus.
it could be. Yeah, I guess I'll take a closer look in a second. I don't believe I had an Entei in here. Um, I was trying to find that Entei. Looks like I just had Rikun and Roku.
Raikou?
Roku, Raikou.
I
It's
just said that because Eva's binder said, she said, what'd she say? She said, also, did Dane just call Raikou Roku, or am I tripping?
I when I was younger, somebody else and I forget who it was. Somebody else said that they used to call Suicune suicide. Who was that? Again, like I don't even remember if that wasn't a live I was in. It was one that I listened to. Maybe it was Pokeboo, maybe it was Sakari. But yeah, I used to call like I used to play with one of my buddies. We used to play Crystal, Yellow, all the old games, and you never hear it. Like I never heard that name pronounced, so we just came up with whatever we came up with. I always said suicide, and some of the other bad ones were like Rattata. I always said like I have to consciously think about it when I say them. Nido King, right? I used to always say Nido King. Some of them weren't too drastic,
And
but some of them were really
not to
bad.
interrupt, but if you don't mind, scroll down chat. Someone said chat, not scroll down. You'll click that
Oh,
blue button.
whoops. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. But I think Suicide sounds way cooler than Suicune, so I might just start saying that
It
just to be a
does.
weirdo.
Yeah, it does sound pretty cool. Someone said Rattle used to call it suicide. I think it was someone else. Yeah, Hermione. I don't even know anymore which one I
Hermione
used
makes
to
me want to
say.
throw up.
Her, Oh, Hermione's the bad one?
Yeah, Hermione. That just sounds wrong. It just sounds weird. I don't know.
I think these
How do you
verses
say
are I think these verses are actually mint.
and Newback, Colson and I were talking the other day, Newback Japanese gets graded really easily.
I did send out at 18. Oh, that one's got a super bend on the corner. That one's not mint. But the other ones I think are generally mint. I'll have to look. I'll have to look at all this stuff closer because some of these will go out for whatnot consignments, and some of them, I doubt there's anything gradable in here. Oh, Colt said it was him. It was me, Dan. We talked about this. I'm sorry. I have a terrible memory. Again, I consume so much content and I make so much content lately. I can never remember what conversation. It's like I don't even remember if I was in the conversation or if someone else was just talking about it. Uh too deep into the live stream game.
Um, I would bring those to Collecticon, and I bet just at trade nights and stuff. I mean, when I was at Long Beach, I don't know if when in Charlotte they had something similar, but at the Whatnot trade event that I was at, there were Whatnot streamers buying stuff left and right. I think I sold like 12 or 15 slabs just at that little like trade night thing to Whatnot streamers, just of my like lower end stuff. And some like everything was sub $100, but I bet they would buy a lot of those cards from me. You could probably clean up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like super limited space. Maybe I'll bring some amount of them. I don't know.
I
Maybe
didn't
I'll.
think about that because I bet you're bringing a lot of stuff.
I'm not gonna be bringing a ton of stuff, but I'm literally like my wife's coming too, but we're gonna have two. Like we're both gonna pack a backpack, personal item, and that's gonna be our clothes for the weekend and whatever we need to bring for the weekend, all in there. I mean, I'm gonna wear like as much clothes as possible to be able to carry more in my bag. But it will be Denver. I mean, it's New York and Denver in mid-October, so it'll be a bit chilly in the evenings. We'll have to bring some amount of jackets or whatever, but we're just gonna wear it all on the plane so that we can fit as much as possible in our. Yeah. Thrifty says Dan just drinks at trade nights. He don't want that smoke. That is fairly accurate. I honestly like networking, meeting new people. Networking is like the fancy way to say that I just want to hang out and meet new people. And uh I need to use like the business terminology. I need to IRS if you're watching, it is a business trip. I will be networking. I won't be just hanging out. It will be networking, business meetings. So need to be careful of
Yeah,
your terminology.
so we have the IRS and we have PSA watching right now.
Yeah. I might. This box was right near a couple other. If you can entertain chat for another minute or two, I might go try to one more shot because
Yeah,
I'm specifically thinking like it's fairly similar to this. There's a lot of EX era, but I have EX era stuff that's like literally in the vicinity of PSA or CGC one, and I want to find those Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. It's literally just the foil layer someone peeled off. So I'll be right back in a minute or two.
yeah, for sure, man. So who all in chat? So I see the Pool Father said about Kansas City Collecticon. I wonder if I've not really heard anybody talking about Kansas City, but you're like the second person I think. Um, who all in chat's going to Denver? I'm curious to see when we get 67 people watching. I'm curious to see who all is going to Denver. Important series of meetings to determine whether to hurt Frog or not. Yeah, Pete is also watching. That's super funny. I'm still for Harm Frog on stream, but that's just me being selfish and not thinking. If you don't go to Denver, you're not spicy. I didn't know you're thinking about Kansas City, basic. How far of a drive is that from you? I feel like that's pretty far. I looked it up for me. I think it's like 8 hours. I've driven through there before and gotten back to Nashville. Sorry if I'm being boring while Dan's gone. I don't really have anything to talk about. Let's see.
Sorry for just abandoning you.
Oh, you're
I
good. Yeah, so actually Kansas City's only
it's like 2 weeks,
Nashville.
right?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, so Kansas City's like 8 hours for me. Yeah, so that's a whole. I'm definitely not good. Definitely not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do Kansas City. Denver's gonna be my last one for the year. But yeah, I opened up like 8 different monster boxes, and the majority of them I actually found my Greninja Gold Stars. One of them was just an entire row of Greninja Gold Stars. But a lot of like modern random crap. Like I have 50 monster boxes maybe filled. And most of them aren't this. Most of them aren't like what we just saw. The lot of modern, a lot of like random box breaks. I just throw them into a monster box. But somewhere there's super damaged cards. I know these were my Troll and Toad rejects, but there's stuff that like I rejected some before I sent thousands to Troll and Toad.
So what do you do, just out of curiosity, with all the cards that are Troll and Total rejects that are just boof, and like all the other cards that are just completely, garbage? Do you just kind of set them back, or do you throw them away? Do you recycle them?
I've never thrown away any cards that I can remember. I used to just periodically lot them and sell them on eBay. I haven't done that in so long though. I'm not crazy about auctions, and I just haven't really like I've had a continual backlog of graded cards to get listed. So yeah, it's not been worthwhile to do it, I guess. But I definitely have thousands of dollars of cards that I need to unlock that money because it's just dead capital right now. Those are the kinds of things though that like I talked about it before. I did this part time for six years, 2014 to 2020, before the boom, before the bubble. Like even though we've come down a lot from the high, that stuff is worth so many multiples from when I put it into those monster boxes. I lucked into a lot of long term like capital gains just being so behind on my inventory and buying faster than I could sell. I've consistently done for the past 8 years, so I lucked out in a lot of respects on all that.
When you say monster boxes, what do you mean by that?
Like the 5 row,
Okay.
Ultra Pro. Like this one, this is what I got initially. Like, and it's literally like there's an HDMI cable in here. There's Evolving Skies mini binders with packs. There's McDonald's stuff. There's Scotch tape. There's empty Phantom Forces packs. Like
You could literally you could just like sticker them up and throw them on eBay, and you get like free advertising out of your videos and streams and stuff, and it could be like Storage Wars Dan edition.
that was discussed at one point. Somebody asked me like, why don't you just? There was one stream. Actually, it was the same. It was the James and Cam one. I recently earlier that day, I found a stack of packs in like in the corner of a tote, and it was like 5 grand in packs. It was like Topps Chrome packs, it was WotC packs, it was a Delta Species packs. Like it was crazy. At the time that I stashed them away in that tote, it was probably a couple $100 worth of packs. Like it had value. It it was something I planned to get to. Like what I do is like right now, if I showed my whole desk, it's a mess. Periodically, I'll be like, this is too much. I can't get my work done. I'll take an empty monster box, I'll fill it with whatever on my desk, and I'll just reset, thinking that I'll get back to that monster box later, and then I never do. And that's what repeat that for 8 years, and that's why I have 50 of them. Some of them with ultra modern bulk, some of them like the night that Jake came over, the infamous 8.5 hour stream. There's a monster box with like My Hero Academia mixed with Harry Potter, mixed with Evolving Skies, mixed with Phantom Force, whatever we cracked that night, it all went into a monster box and it's just gone somewhere now. It's in a stack. That's
How, how to invest in Pokemon 101, everybody.
yeah. Do that for 8 years
Um,
when it's all nearly worthless, and then someday it might be worth 10 or 100x or something.
I also wanted to say this. I've said this in a chat before. I don't remember what live it was. That infamous 8.5 hour stream, I literally went to bed, I think at like 1 a.m. and I woke up at like 6, and I was like, I looked on YouTube just as like get my day started, and I was like, wait, what?
Still
Dan's still
alive.
live? Yeah, I thought it was so funny, because I remember hopping in and I was like, you're still live, and you were like, yeah, we're still live, we're still chilling. I was like, okay, let's go.
That was insane.
That was
Yeah,
one of the greatest videos of all time.
that was actually insane. Mason says 50 monster boxes as if that's like Mason, you have a mountain. You must have you said you have millions of bulk, right? I mean, a million would be 200 monster boxes approximately. So I mean Mason is a store though, and I'm just some dude. But yeah, I as you saw here though, there's scotch tape, there's HDMI cable. It's not all straight Pokemon cards. Like there might be I don't even know what there might be in them. One thing that I mentioned on the stream where someone suggested like doing a video where you just go through one or do it live, go through one in its entirety. I have some like personal stuff probably. Like I actually recently found the playing cards of me, the sports cards of me like playing baseball when I was younger. When I was playing like uh little league, my mom got like they did the photographs like kind of like school pictures but for the baseball team, and you could pay and you could pay some extra and you could get trading cards made of your kid, and my mom got like trading cards of me made. And I don't want to come across stuff like that randomly and like dox my name or like show I don't even know what random stuff personal items I'd have in there. So I Mason says he only has 580,000. That
I looked him
there's
on Discord the other
definitely
day. He said he like 1.5 million cards or something crazy.
yeah there's there's a lot of value. I know there's a lot of value in my boxes, but to maximize it, to optimize it, I need to do it through like a whatnot streamer or something. I don't want to just throw like 5 grand in value in an eBay auction and auction it off like a horrible mixed lot that no one wants that and sell it for like 500 bucks. I'd rather consign it to a whatnot streamer who's gonna take like I don't know what the rates are, but I'm imagining the rates are fairly high. If someone wanted to take 50% and like they do the work of streaming it, I did the work of hoarding it for the past few years, and just 50-50 split. Say it gets 5 grand, 2,500, 2,500. They did all the work. I don't know if that's a thing that exists. I don't know if that makes sense or if it would work like that. Show my Wonder Platinum. I don't own one of those. I do want to own one someday, but I should go through and get through my backlog, and I should I should sell all that and maybe I can afford a Wonder Platinum.
I don't even know what that is. I might sound ignorant, but what is that?
Are you familiar with the Mysterious Pearl?
Yeah, actually, funny story about that. I'll tell you really quick before you explain this. There was a guy with a so I'd never seen a mysterious pearl in person, and we were at trade night, and the guy's name was Pokey something Jesus was his name. Pokey Graded Jesus, I think was his name. Some of y'all might know him, but he had a PS8 Mysterious Pearl, and I was looking at it, got some cool like footage of it. And then I went to go talk to him the next day because we were trying to do a deal for one of his E-Series hollows. And he had his PS8 Mysterious Pearl. He didn't have a case on his table, and some guy just came by from what he thinks and just snagged it. Some guy stole it.
Ugh, that sucks. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
But anyway,
remember.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my
So,
head what year the Mysterious Pearl was, but like '06 to '08, somewhere in that range, I think. The Mysterious Pearl, basically think of it as like the hierarchy. There's three of them. The Wonder Platinum is like the peak rarity. I think there's 35 or 21. There's a very low amount of copies of Wonder Platinum out there. So Wonder Platinum is the best. Miracle Diamond is second. There's like 150, say 100 to 300 range. And then the Mysterious Pearl, there's probably like several hundred to 1,000 or something. So those three were
Okay.
awarded in the same vicinity, in some of the same era, like Japanese tournaments. And the Wonder Platinum's just significantly scarcer. I've had a chance to buy a diamond. I turned down buying a diamond years ago. I think it was a PSA 9 for like 5 grand because it was a PSA 7 and a PSA 9 case. In hindsight, I should have just bought it and I would have done well, but I hate buying overgraded slabs because they are harder to sell often. But
Yeah.
yeah, Pokemon
I,
Steven, I
I
believe,
never
has
really,
a Wonder Platinum.
I'd never really done any research on the Mysterious Pearl or really know what it came from. My trophy card knowledge is so minimal. I need to do more research, but I feel like trophy cards are one of the things that you have to like really try to learn about. It's not something you're just gonna like casually come across on YouTube unless you're watching like deep state SM Pratt videos for like hours.
Yeah, I've been on E4 for like as long as I've been back in the hobby, and there are some great guides over on E4. One of them is called like the Master List of Rarest Cards, and illustrators, original trophies, all the different random releases, art academies, any card that has like less than 1,000 copies produced are on that sheet. That's a very valuable sheet, and it's publicly out there. There's a lot of great resources that you can dive into, and that information's like so much more accessible than it was 8 years ago. I forget when that document specifically was created, but it was during the time I was on E4, so it's less than 8 years old.
Yeah, I did like a 4 month stint where I was on E4 like every other day, and then I just kind of got out of it. I need to get back into it. The new website change kind of threw me for a loop, and I just kind of haven't got back into it since.
Me going full time, I moved away from E4 quite a bit because instead of being on the clock, I was on my own clock, paying myself. So to some extent, that pulled me out of it. And then, yeah, the website change threw me too. It took me a long time to get back. I did just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I finally went and migrated my account. But I used to be super active. I mean, I have over 5,000 posts over the past several years. I will
Oh
get it
wow.
back. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get it back into like my daily routine. Right now I do too much Discord. I need to lessen my Discord. I need to increase my E4 a little bit. But I don't want to go back to like daily, maybe weekly, hit it up and just see what's going on. I do kind of miss so many friendships and stuff created through there. A lot of the people that I've met in person at Worlds at various events, I first met on E4, but there's some of them that I still actively engage with frequently. Like, I mean, Nick, I have the podcast with, obviously. There's a lot of people that I still engage with frequently in the YouTube space, but there's a certain amount of friends that I have on E4 that I engage with there, that I'm not really engaging with as much. So I need to get back there a bit more frequently.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, E4 is a really good tool. Like I said about trophy cards though, you just kind of have to want to do it. You know what I mean? It's not something you're just gonna like casually come across watching like a pack breaking video. Then I start talking about a Wonder Platinum. So that's why I probably had never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I finished like 2018ish is when I kind of finished most of my goals for English cards and PSA 9. My goal of opening every box, and once I finish that, it's like what's next, and I just turn towards trophy cards, Japanese promo cards, and lucky timing. I snatched up a bunch of them like during and after the two Worlds events that I went to. And then again, we went into the boom, we went into the mania, and a lot of them have been rewarded very heavily through that mania phase.
I also just noticed somehow the Quaxley behind you posted up. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Right when that dropped on Pokemon Center, I had to get one. Well, I got three of them.
I never ever thought I would have any Pokemon stuffed animals, but because you have two Deoxys sitting cuties over here next to me that I got with my special delivery Charizard. So thanks, Dan.
Nice. You had to get something with it, right? You had to spend the $20, so it might as well have been on sitting cuties.
better than bricking on 5 modern packs. So at least I can keep these and enjoy them.
Yeah, you got a guaranteed pull there. You don't buy the packs, you buy the singles, right? You bought your sitting cuties, the exact ones you wanted, and you don't have to buy it in like a mystery bag. I'm almost surprised they don't do blind bags, like blind boxes of sitting cuties. You just randomly get one and they have like different rarity tiers, and oh man, imagine they start doing that. I know like Lego does it with different minifigures, and there's a lot of different collectible things that do the whole blind bag, blind box thing, which
Yeah, they would
obviously,
do very, very well with that. I would take
yeah.
it. There'd be a huge demand for that stuff.
Could you imagine like just certain rarity tiers and then one out of 1,000 of each, like shinies, and oh man, they
One out
would.
of 32, like shiny Pikachu, that would be worth like thousands and thousands of
Oh
dollars.
yeah.
So John had a question. He said, "Why does the staff? Why does the staff of the World's promo go for just as much, if not more, than the top 32 many of the years?" That's more of a you question for sure. I'm not entirely sure on that one.
I've heard a lot of different theories as to why. Certain years, very, very early on, it's fairly likely that there were less staff copies awarded, or not fairly likely, it's potential that there were less staff copies awarded than like top 32s, depending on whether they got two of each, depending on whether they got the whole run. But they're like earlier on when the events were smaller, when the contestants were getting the full run, um, it's potential that they're actually slightly scarcer. Another theory is that some people don't like the I don't want to collect all top 32, all top 16, all semifinalists, quarterfinalists, all that stuff. I just want one more finite thing. Like I can't really collect champion stamp on down to top 32 for every year, but staff stamp for every year, that's more accessible. So it's like a more finite, more accessible, some sense of possibility to complete it. That's not my theory really, but like that's a theory I've heard frequently stated. And to me, it's like it's reasonable. It's a reasonable theory. So you could say, well, why don't they go for the unstamped ones? I guess it's a balance. It's a fair bit more chase than the unstamped ones, but it's significantly less chase than like champions, like Jake from Pokenomics is going for champion stamp of every year on down to top 32 of every year, staff stamp of every year. A guy like Dave Person actually has that largely. I don't know if he has them all for 2022 yet, but crazy.
I wouldn't mind having a few top 32 cards. I've been outbid in like PSA 6 ones a few times, but that's something I've like recently kind of looked into. I think they're really, really cool. The more I learn about them, I think I'm just like kind of in that part of my collecting journey where I'm really trying to figure out like the rare items that I would like to collect, and I kind of haven't got there yet.
Yeah, I've never been crazy about variants, largely speaking. I own and have owned a fair bit of staffed festivals, beaches, winds, waves, all those various cards because I happened upon a lot of them. My target was the Pikachu's, the full art Pikachu's, and all but
Yeah.
one of the Pikachu's I bought came with the full run of festivals that they were awarded with them. So like I just randomly got them as toss-ins over the years, and there were some individual lots. I saw some value in it. They felt a little undervalued to me. I'm not crazy about them though, to be honest. Um, but yeah, they're interesting. Just I know that I'm not going to collect all the variants every year, so I keep like the base variant and I keep a sealed pack. I have that from like 2014 to current for me personally.
Okay. I think that's pretty cool. I used to want to go after sealed packs, but I kind of got out of it just because um, I don't know. It's just probably one of those things that my collection goal shifted, and plus I like blisters a lot more. And after having a few blisters, and then I acquired a few and realized like to complete my collection goals how much money I would need to spend, and then I was like I don't like blisters that much because like if you look at legendary collection blisters, and obviously when you get like first ed base, you're talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Blisters just scare me because like the premium that's put on that little bit of glue that connects the cardboard to the plastic, and I just worry that over time all blisters are going to become loose packs. That's a worry of
Yeah,
mine.
I just have that one Deoxys blister now. That's the only blister that I own. I sold my fossil one at Collecticon.
I've only gotten a few of them over the years, and it's always been like a quick move. I don't really want to hold on to those. I just worry too much.
Yeah, and you're probably right and everything. I mean, that's probably my favorite piece of my collection, and I also like my PSA 10s, but you're absolutely right with everything you're saying on this stream, so it's kind of funny.
I worry too, like the way that I create these mystery boxes. I'm gonna put a blister in a monster box on its edge, and I'm gonna stack 20 more monster boxes on top of it, and then it's just gonna get creased and crinkled and stuff anyways. Not a good idea.
I I was gonna say, I mean, with my blister in the acrylic case and it's stored, in a cool environment, and the glue's really intact on that one, I'm not too worried about it. It's just what honestly traveling with it is what makes me nervous. And like you said, if you put it in like grab bags and stuff like that, that'd be kind of bad. Or if you had stacked monster boxes and stuff in it, and you had HDMI cables rubbing up against the blister, that probably wouldn't be great for the condition.
Somebody just said check DMs. I guess there's a base for Zard ending soon. I don't see oh, here we go. I was gonna say I don't see any DMs, but now I just got one. Oh, it's an SGC 86. So that was before they. Huh. I'll have to look at that.
I don't see one at auction right now. Granted, I don't have the link, but
Colin Colson.
what is it?
Ernesto said Colin Colson. It's gonna screw everything up if I call in someone else.
He can tap in if he wants, and I can bounce out. That's not a big deal.
Colson, DM me. Well, we could. We'll just have to start a new chat and get a call. I mean, I can quickly on the fly. I've done it a bunch of times. I can just on the fly get him. We'll quad box it here, the chat, and then 3 people.
And it's kind of funny that if Colson does hop on, because we're all planning a live next Tuesday all together.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be funny. We'll continue the conversations next Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, Colson, don't DM me directly. If you can DM me and DNA together, that way we can just end this call, start a call in that group. I don't think there's a way like to add someone to an active call. I think it like muddies things up.
I don't think there is either.
I'll keep an eye out for that though, in case Colson wants to hop in. Let him know, Ernesto.
I also he said Kai saying Colson call in. For anybody watching right now who has heard the infamous video about Dan riding the 4-wheeler at Rusty's, I do have a really funny edit drawn up of that, so that will be thrown up in the intro on Tuesday. Down for Tuesday. It's really good. I'm excited.
I'm really excited for that too. That was so much fun. I still haven't bought one yet, but my son just turned 4, just started pre-K. He's a little young for it. He's got like a Power Wheel 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
I think next year though he's gonna have one of those, and by that I mean we're gonna have one of those. I don't have quite as much land as Rusty, but I've got a little bit of. We could bomb around my yard on that too.
What state are you in? Honestly, I don't even know what state you're in.
I'm in like central New York. I'm like
Okay,
4.5 hours north
earlier.
of the city. Yeah, I'm way up there in the woods. Not like I'm not in the Adirondacks. New York is huge. Like I'm 4.5 hours north of the city, and you can drive 2 or 3 hours north of me and not hit Canada. Like it's 2 or 3 hours to hit Canada. Like New York is actually massive. But like
I've only been to Buffalo. That's like the farthest upstate New York I've been.
Buffalo's like almost 3 hours west of me. So yeah, Buffalo is like 7 hours from New York City. New York is really crazy big.
I
Colson's
was
back in chat.
I just messaged him on Discord. I was not for any upstate New York people. Also, sorry, Dan. I was not a fan of Buffalo. The short experience I had there, I basically was staying in Buffalo, and during the day we went to Niagara Falls and we crossed the border. Yeah, but Buffalo was a little rough.
I've only been there. I've been there a decent amount of times. I don't
I'm
like
sure where you
cities.
stay at. I'm sure
Well,
upstate New York's fine. It's just the area I was in Buffalo specifically was pretty rough.
I don't like cities at all, really. Like, I'm cool to visit a city for a weekend. Like, I'm pumped for Denver for a weekend, but by the end of the weekend, it's gonna be like, there, this is too many people. Like, I'm used to driving down my street. I see like across like I can see one house next to me, and it's like a couple 100 feet away. It's fairly close. I could throw a baseball and hit my neighbor's house on the one side. The other side, I can't even see them. And across the street, it's like fields. Like, there's cornfields around me, and there's like cows, and there's like, I live in the woods. And I like it. Houses are few and far between. It's just a lot of corn, a lot of hay fields, a lot of cows. Um, that's the way I like it.
No, for sure. No, I live like 45 minutes outside of Nashville, and if you go like 20 minutes up, it's cornfields and everything like that. I'm trying to get Colson on the call. I don't know how to start a. Here we go. I think because Colson said he's down just in the link. We're about to have Colson on, everybody.
Yeah,
Let's
there's no
see.
link, Colson. It's just a Discord call. Okay, I see he just started the chat. So we'll end quick,
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
I'll call you guys there. Again, I won't be able to share video, but we'll just we'll get this all reconfigured. I'll talk to you in
I
a
can
minute.
see Colson, so sounds good.
Okay. I see two separate chats. I don't know. Looks like Colson made one, and okay, here we go.
Yo, what's up?
It looks
That's
like
good.
you guys both made one. I see one that DNA made, and I see one that Colson made.
Let me. I'm getting my
Here we
camera
go.
on. One sec.
Dan, are we? Yeah, I take it we're still live.
Yeah. So yeah, hot mic, hot mic.
Yeah.
Okay, there I am.
We're going to have to announce. We're gonna have to get you linked in the chat too. I hear we got a video dropping tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I was just
everyone,
recording the intro now.
everyone, if you're not already subscribed, if any
I'm not
wrenches are in the
subscribed. I'm about to go
chat,
do that.
if any wrenches are in the chat, and you can if you can link Colson's channel, please do
Actually,
so. If
yeah.
not, I'll get it linked in a minute. I gotta get DNA back on screen though. We lost him. We're missing him.
Bye, DNA.
You can just leave me off screen. No worries.
Lurk in the shadows.
What's your channel name?
Colson.
Is it just Colson?
Yeah.
Can you send it? Can you just send it in the
Yeah,
chat
got
we're
it.
in?
I got it.
That'll be the quickest, easiest way.
Colson until, further thought out.
On Instagram, you're
I
like
was expecting like Sorry, go
Eternity
Dan.
or whatever. What are you?
Yeah,
City
Eternity
Collectibles?
Collectibles is my Instagram. Yeah.
I thought it was Internacity.
No, like Eternity, like in Diamond Pearl Platinum, the city.
Okay, I'm
If you
not
ever played
familiar.
that.
That's probably why I said that.
Yeah.
I don't play the Pokemon video games too much.
Missing out. Missing out.
Yeah, I stopped at Emerald. This is a really hot take. I feel like I'm gonna get beat up in chat for this, but I just feel like they're kind of all the same. I haven't played one in years. I haven't played like Arceus or anything like that. But after playing like two or three of the same thing, it just kind of, I don't know, it gets a little old to me.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. Bare minimum.
Yeah, there's a lot of Colsons on YouTube, so
Fair enough.
I'm trying. I know I'm already subbed. Okay, I found it. I'll have it linked in a second.
Dope. I threw it in. Hey, Shout out Mason.
Oh, it looks like Mason found it.
Yo.
The double.
Double link. There we go. Should get twice the subs now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
We should sorry, go ahead, man.
oh yeah, I'm hoping to have the video out tomorrow. I was literally just recording the intro for it when you guys told me to tap in. So yeah.
We got 29 subs. We need to pump that number up to at least 50. We got 50 watching, so there should be 50 next time I look.
That's crazy with 0 subs, bro. I mean 0 videos. Like Jesus.
Better not disappoint with
That's
that
awesome.
video tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pressure's on.
Damn.
He showed me a little bit of it last night. It's gonna be pretty cool. He actually sent me the unlisted video. I just haven't had a chance to watch it because
Yeah.
right when I got back to the house, I planned on watching it, and then I saw you were going live, and I was just like, I'll message Dan to see if he wants to talk tonight. So here we are.
This is like the pregame.
Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday
this is
stream pregame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Will that be a stream, DNA?
Yeah, for sure. Always. We don't
sick.
we don't edit. We're all hot. We're all hot mic.
Hell yeah.
I've actually got a decent amount of cards. I've got a sub to CGC with that Charizard tomorrow. My send off. Somebody,
So
I forget who it was. Somebody just turned around a CGC bulk sub in 3 business days. In Pokenomics Discord.
I've turned 1 in 7 before.
Let me see if I can find who that was.
I turned
That's too fast.
I turned a tops 1 in 7 days, and then the other one took 14. My most recent one took about 20 days.
Yeah, iSnipe just received September 6th. Oh, no. Wait, what is this? How does it say ship 9-8? It's 9-7 right now. I don't understand this, but it says receive 9-6, ship 9-8. That's tomorrow. Maybe they printed
Maybe
the
it's
label
shipping
and
out
they're
tomorrow.
just shipping. Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
looks like a day or two. That's crazy.
Jesus.
So Colson, we ripping that EV box behind you, or what are we doing?
Well, so I don't really know what to do with this. I'm kind of in it, like retail, pretty much. I did a trade, but I really like the box. Like, it's kind of the coolest sealed box ever.
Yeah,
little bit.
don't rip that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got sleeves and a deck box from that, and I bought the promo separately.
Nice.
They just came up at auction, and I'm planning to sell them at Collecticon, hopefully. I just buy a little like junk stuff when it comes through auction when there's like a Pokemon ending soonest that I think is a good deal. Then I end up with a bunch of garbage that I'm trying to sell, and it sits in my closet for 6 months before I sell it, and then I make $4. So here we are.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't not do that.
Here's some of my cards I gotta submit. I've actually got. I cracked out a lot.
Buy all
of...
those.
These came in a collection that I got recently. And then I've got some pulls from VMAX Climax. I was gonna do a CGC, shooting for that perfect 10. And then I've got some screams that I cracked out that were like early subgrades. And then I got Masakis that I cracked out that were early with subgrades.
Oh yeah.
Decent bit of stuff.
Just casually lays out like 5 Masaki Alakazams, no biggie.
Yeah.
And three Machamps.
These weren't from
I never seen
my...
Masaki cards until.
Ooh. Oh, I was just trying to snipe. Somebody linked me to a Charizard. I just lost it though. It was an SGC 86 Charizard. It went for $6,100, but it was at like $3,000 with a minute to go. I'm like, I might be able to steal this for like $4,500, and then I don't even think I would have cracked that out. It's like a super old SGC, but I ended up losing it right at the buzzer.
Damn. That's always the worst.
I think these will be a good play to get inventory for Denver. Like, stream promos were pretty liquid. I have more. I gotta find my stack of raw. I don't have like a huge stack anymore, but I do have a handful of raw. I think PSA is the better play as far as on a raw dollar basis, but the fact that I can turn them around, have them for Denver, and get them sold for cash in Denver in the meantime when it would just be sitting in PSA's backlog, like, I think that's the play, and then I'll just buy more.
Yeah. I mean, it just does depend on your cost basis and like how expensive that card would be in like a PSA 9 or 10, right? Like if it would be worth sending it like a $50 or $100 tier and getting it back before then, right?
Yeah, and those, like, these ones here were cracked from like CGC 8.5s. They could be PSA 9s, but they're probably not 10s. The other ones that I still have raw, they're probably like CGC 8s to 9s, which I think will be, my cost basis is so low. I think it'll be a decent margin. I guess I'll have to look at CGC 8 prices, but save me your shittiest Scream Eevee, Dan. I can definitely save you a Scream Eevee, Thrifty. You want one just raw or graded? I mean, I can save one either way.
That's weird. I missed that chat on my screen.
Are you on top chat or live chat?
Top chat. I didn't even know there was a difference.
Yeah.
There you go.
It defaults to top chat, but you miss a decent amount of stuff.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know
this
was
is a thing.
Yep.
No, it says it's probably just because she said shittiest is why.
Oh yeah, probably got like filtered out.
Yeah, no cursing here, Thrifty.
Yeah.
we'll time you out.
The YouTube top chat algorithm does not approve of cursing.
Yeah,
that's
top chat's
wild.
A bag.
That's wild.
So as far as like, so you said you cracked those Masaki cards out of CGC slabs. So why would you regrade them with CGC?
Those are ones that I think there's the theory that cards with subgrades graded earlier on. Well, two things. Cards with subgrades are graded harsher than cards without subgrades is kind of a theory. And then early on, CGC was grading harder than they are today. So I had graded those very early on with subgrades, and the thinking is that grading them now without, I might be able to get half a grade or a grade bump. Like some of those were CGC 7.5, CGC 8.5s. Some of the CGC 8.5s, I looked at them close. They felt like PSA 10s. I mean, certainly PSA 9s. I hope they'd get CGC 9s now. We'll have to see, though. Part of my thinking was, like, I paid $7 to grade them. First batch, first wave with CGC. I got in super cheap. I'm going to crack them, and I'm going to spend an extra $13. So, like, $20 all in having that grading cost. It's not a huge risk there, I guess. Like, not too much risk of loss, not too much gain either. Low. It's I don't know. Probably could have just sold them as is, but we'll see.
I might be interested in some of those Masaki cards potentially. Just depends what they look like. I bought 5 crack cards today. Actually, I bought a Heracross Japanese. All these are Japanese, except the one of them. But I bought a Heracross from Neo Genesis for like $35 and a 9. It looks really, really clean. I went through like all these guys' cards. I bought a Vileplume from Japanese Rocket. About the same price. Mac Argo from Splitter, first edition, CGC 9.
Hey.
The 9s and 9.5s, there's some rough looking CGC 9s out there. I'm knowing my luck, I'm probably gonna get all these and they're gonna have big print.
Oh.
Did you lose? Okay. I thought I lost both of you. I thought I lost both of you. I thought it was me, but it's DNA.
Yeah, he was about to say he was gonna get all print lines, but couldn't get that off.
Hopefully he'll find his way back. Oh,
Damn. Oh, here we go. There he
he's
is.
back. I was gonna say
I-
while you two are chatting, I'm still gonna be listening. I'm gonna go try to find another mystery box while you guys are chatting. I won't leave.
Have fun.
DNA's not alone now, but I'll be back.
yeah. Kai said sub him out, get Charvy on Dan's Woods internet, DNA's internet. No, it's my VPN that I'm using. I'm gonna turn it off actually, because the VPN isn't the best sometimes. Let's see. I got a funky setup with my monitors. They're all connected to my desk over here. Let's turn this off.
How do we derail the chat as fast as possible? What do we have to say?
Charvy for $50 per hour. I need to get this. I'm gonna get this split set up to where, hopefully I don't mess this up, to where I can see you and chat at the same time. Because there's no point looking at the live stream because we're lagging so hard behind each other.
I know, right? That's my
It's
problem.
super-
I'm like trying to understand what Dan's like talking about.
Let's see. How do I get this to go full screen? Or can I? I don't know. I'm such a boomer.
Pokesmoke wants our most controversial takes while Dan's gone.
So here's how we really feel about Dan.
Bag holder.
Yes, yeah, the hamsters that power Nashville need to get swapped out. What did Charvy say? Why do you let Retro scam me?
Oh, Retro's a known scammer in the hobby. Watch out.
Yeah, yeah, he sent me a fake PayPal invoice and then changed it at the last second. He hopped on my computer and used like what the people over in India, the scammers, what they do, they download something and then create like fake bank statements and all this other stuff. Yeah, it was really weird. So just watch out for Retro if he does that. If he asks for access to your computer, say no. That's why I got the VPN that lagged out.
Yeah, he's doxing you.
I don't think I want to do a vape competition. That's a hard task. Yeah. Not trying to get a short of on Ernesto's channel or Kai's like first video is a lung check from us.
Lung check. That's a new hairline check.
Yeah, lung check for people who under 25.
Yeah.
What's
exactly.
So you sent me something in Discord today about the cards you just submitted. So how many PSA submissions do you have out? Just out of curiosity.
I just got one back a couple days ago. I think I have like 3 there and 2 more going out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's like some of the bigger hitters that you have coming back?
Well,
And how much of that is consignment too? Because I know you've been doing some consignments.
well, so none of it is. I did consignment for a couple cards, but all of that stuff is just my own and a couple of Charvy's cards. Shout out Charvy. But big hitters, I'm trying to think. I have basically just a lot of new back, a lot of like Japanese EXs, holos, Japanese legends. Yeah, I mean, let me actually pull up the PSA sub.
So who
Yeah, let's
did
get a
the
look.
fattest vape cloud while I was gone?
No,
I think I was the only one that vaped while you're gone, so I won that competition.
oh damn, I'm
I
behind.
will say I found some CGC ones, like 100%. I found some locks. So for everyone who said don't harm the frog, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Greninja appreciates you. He did not have to die.
Boo.
Check out this Ho-Oh. You guys will see it in a little bit. Check out this Ho-Oh EX from Unseen Forces. I did not do this. I don't know who did. It is as destroyed almost as a card can get. Like water had to be involved. The crinkles, the creases everywhere. It's just about to come up for you guys.
Oof. Yikes.
Dude, that looks like it's like paper mache. Looks like it's paper mache.
And here's a Celebi. Here's a Typhlosion. Like this Typhlosion is maybe the worst one out of the bunch. I'll show the back of that one. I don't even remember the lot that these came in. Here's an Empoleon that's fully taped. Like it looks like it was almost ripped in half, not quite completely. But I think they do decline tapes. I don't think they'll grade that because it has Scotch tape on it.
So let me ask you this, and this is like a serious question. What are you ultimately planning to learn by subbing cards that look like they literally came out of a dumpster? Like, I guess like how are you gonna learn the grading scale? But like look, I know we're behind, but that one that looks like it. I don't even know what it looks like. Someone took a wire brush on like a drill and just like just like went ham on it. But are you just going to compare them to see like what?
Well,
dude, like wait. Don't grade that's like the definition of a junk slab.
I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn multiple things. Well, one, I'm gonna shout out ZNG Emporium and say, what an amateur! How could you not achieve a CGC1? It's easy. Here's mine. First try. So part of it is just like in James's face. And then the other part of it is maybe I will see what the market would pay if they'd pay anything. I mean, this should be, I think you're seeing it now. I don't even know how to say it. Regigigas. He's one of the ones that like I've never heard it said out loud. Maybe I have a time or two, but he was later, like when I stopped playing. But yeah, like this one card is missing. There's card missing at the top. There's card missing on the corner. It's been folded at least a handful of times. This is a 1. Like Regigigas is being sent, for sure. Just for science. I mean, I just want to see. I'm out here trying to get 9s and 10s. I might as well feel out the lower bounds of the scale, right? Like, again, engineer
CGC1.
Engineer brain. I just want to know like the full bounds of the scale. I wanna feel the whole thing out, see how it works. We'll see. Oh god.
Why is everybody clowning on me? Because I said so. Let me ask you this. But like, so let me ask you this. Take a drink.
That's the DNA catchphrase.
I guess it is. Is that something people make fun of me behind my back?
No, you just like, it's like your catchphrase, you know?
I guess. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take a meme.
Dan, you have too much money if you grade that level X. Yeah, I mean, I just sold a special delivery Charizard for $670. I've gotta roll some of that money back into just interesting videos. Like I'll do.
He's gotta put it back in his PC, guys.
I'll do the whole YouTube short game. I'll get a short made up of this Regigigas return, getting the CGC1. But look at it. The thing of beauty. This thing had an interesting life. I don't know what happened to it, but this thing has seen some shit.
Why are people clowning on me so hard? This is so funny. They're like, no, don't worry, we're making fun of you to your face.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll gladly take that on a shirt, please.
Jeez, Dan. You do have too much money.
$15. I mean, $15. Everyone's got $15 to throw around.
do you think that's gonna get graded? Do you think they'll even put that in a slab?
See,
Like,
that's part of it too. Like, I'm interested to see what will actually get thrown into a slab and what will get rejected.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. I think it'll be a fun little experiment for $15. Well worth it. I'm
I
glad I
think that'll
found
get
these though,
graded.
because I had to move. This was like the 10th monster box down in a stack. I had to move. I had to move
Jeez.
a lot of monster boxes to get to these. I knew they were there somewhere though. I found some other cool stuff too. I found my fakes that I got over the years. Those are fun. Let's show some
Oh, I hate
fakes.
those. They gotta be
Not
like
ones that I like
EXs
in.
and stuff, huh?
They're not ones that I like intentionally got. Whoops. I'm trying to get rid of that little live chat you can see at the bottom, but I guess it doesn't matter. Um,
Fine.
All it says is that shit in the trash on the screen.
yeah. Like here's some just like these came a lot of these came in binders with actual real cards. Like these were just randomly mixed in the real card collections that I bought over the years. Like here's a second
Yeah,
edition
that
Porygon
Dragonair's
2.
fire though.
It's the Neo Art Porygon 2 with a terrible holo. It's a second edition stamp with Team Rocket set symbol. Like some of them are actually pretty interesting, but they're all
Yeah,
terrible,
bring that to
terrible
Collecticon.
fakes.
I'm trying to cop.
Here's
That
a
Charizard's going to the moon.
yeah, Charizard. Here's a third edition base set 2 Gyarados. I mean, have you ever seen a third
Oof.
edition base set 2 Gyarados?
When you say third edition, let's see the stamp.
Oh, it's real. It's a rare error variant. You'll
Yeah,
see it.
I'm all I see right now is CGC errors, Dan. I don't know what
Oh
you're talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah, third edition base set
That's
2.
a. It's. I think that yeah. Third edition error. It's like a D stamp.
There we go.
Oh yeah, there it is. Exclusive art.
If you don't
Exclusive.
mind too, show that holofoil on the Dark Dragonair or just the Dragonair rather from base set.
Okay, yeah, I will
That
in
looks
a
kind of cool.
second.
I
Ooh, I
can't see
got
what you're doing right now. We get the lag.
I have a
So
third edition base set 2 trainer holo magneton. Like that's got to be like a pop 1.
for sure, dude. So let me ask you this: is that real?
All of these are very very real. Submitted to AGS. You'll see soon.
Oof.
You'll see soon the Dragonair holo.
The Magneton. I can't.
I've actually
You get people trying to buy
seen.
fake cards.
Yeah, I don't want to sell any of these. I probably shouldn't have even shown them because I don't want it to turn into like people going to eBay buying these. I've definitely seen the I've seen the Charizard around before. Please don't. No matter how cool or how stupid or how interesting they look, like don't support people who make fakes. I didn't pay for these. These came in lots over the years, throw-ins for no money. I've definitely seen the Charizard around though.
With that being said, eBay link in the description. Go check his eBay out.
Yeah.
Affiliate link.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, we've altered cards tonight. We're showing off fake cards. What are we doing here, Dan?
I have no idea what we're doing. We're hanging out. We're having a good time.
Yeah, dude. The monster boxes, they're fighting back.
1K for Zard. Yeah, this third edition base set too, though. I got a bunch of them. There's a Blaine's Growlithe. What do we got in chat? I'm gonna find their favorite Pokemon. I'm trying to find Arcanine. I don't see one. There's another. Oh, I have 2 of the Porygon 2s. Shining missing number. There we go. I might have shown this early on in my channel, but maybe not. I can't remember. I know I thought about it for a while.
I would love to take some of those cards, like the most real one you have in there, and submit it to like TGA and see if they would grade it.
Garizaro,
I bet you could.
$500.
Yeah, I bet if you submitted like 100 cards to TGA, which obviously this is not worth the experiment, you submitted one of those fake cards, like the most real one you have in there, I bet they would grade it. That
I
wouldn't
should
shock
just
me.
put it in my next CGC one and see what happens. Oh god.
Dan gets banned from sending cards to CGC because they watch this live stream intentionally sending fake cards.
I think they're real. I'm not positive. These could be real. I just want to double check. I'm not trying to sneak anything by them. I mean, I'm just seeing if it passes their authentication. Who knows? I might have gold on my
He's
hands
testing
here.
them.
Yeah.
He's testing them.
See, that's when you get in trouble. If you're testing them, that's when you get in trouble. I think these might be real. I just want to be sure with an expert's opinion.
Okay. Yeah,
That's how you
true.
don't get banned.
Yeah, it's all in the wording.
I actually opened a while ago. I opened some 86 Fleer packs that were like clear reseals, but I was actually curious to see if they were real or not. I graded some of these years ago, and they actually like these are genuine 86 Fleer cards that I opened from like what was probably a resealed pack. But years ago, I don't even remember what caused me to do it. I bought a pack or two, and there's a bunch of 86 Fleer that I randomly had in one of my monster boxes. No Jordans.
Damn.
Wouldn't that be a trip?
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm trying to think if I have anything crazy to go through. I don't have Dan backlog money or inventory, but I'm trying to think if I have anything that I need to sort through.
There's
I have a
couple
huge grading
off-center
stack in there.
things.
I don't have many cards left, but I have a terrifying amount of trashed Japanese video games.
I stepped on one of my sealed video games the other day on accident. I was kind of mad.
That probably
Yeah.
hurts the grade.
It was a Jimmy Neutron game, so it was worth like $30, but it's still one of those things.
Now Dan just needs to reseal a WotC box and the live stream will be complete.
Yeah, facts.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I got some Digimon too. I have no idea where this came from. I know nothing about Digimon.
Bags.
Some of these look good though. This is a rookie Digimon, it says.
Ooh.
Champion Digimon.
I always hated Digimon.
Dude, Digimon was my stuff back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon. I got all the hand-me-downs. I got like a base set Charmander, maybe like a couple commons from base set, and then like a Hollow Machamp, and everything else was like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I had bags as a kid, but I was so happy with them. Yeah, I was a happy bag holder. Yeah, like I said, I never opened up a vintage pack until I came back into the hobby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever open any packs as a kid, or what packs did you open up as a kid, Colson?
Oh, I opened tons. I had a huge collection. It was pretty much I just opened everything from like late EX era to early black and white era, and then I left a bit and then came back in with X and Y.
And if Lord Pokesmoke could confirm, I'm pretty sure I hung out with him at the hotel in Long Beach. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If you can confirm in chat that I met you. Charlie said, anyone here own any good cards?
If anyone can tell me the Japanese set name, the Japanese name that this card came from, I will say something nice about you.
I have the advantage. No let's go. Ruler of the Heavens.
Nope.
Undone Seal.
Nope.
No, that's way early. I don't know Japanese
Yep.
set names.
Come on, guys.
When
There's got to
chat's
be
gonna beat me,
someone.
and I'm using the internet. This is bad.
Lord
It's
Pokesmoke said
I
he
looked at
wasn't
EX
in Long
Dragon.
Beach.
I met somebody named Lord Pokesmoke at Long Beach. I thought.
There are other
Maybe
names similar to that, I think. There's so many names that they're so similar sounding. Like there's definitely a Lord
just been
Poke
Pokesmoke or
Bloke.
something.
There's a Lord Poke Bloke, and I don't know if it's the same person just on different channels or like I run into that a lot too. Like I mix people up because their names are too common, too similar.
Dude, Colson, this is bad. I can't even find the card online. It's from Dragons Exalted. I know that in English.
Yep. Yep. You're close. Halfway there.
Oh, Lord Poke Bloke was
Man.
his old name. Okay, so it is the same person. Dragon
So
Blast
we have.
and Dragon Blade.
There we go.
Did I
Dragon.
win?
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Dragon
Oh,
Blast.
Jackson Guthrie said
Yeah.
it. I just pulled it up on Bulbapedia.
Finally, dude.
I'm on Bulbapedia. I can't find it for some reason. I'm looking at the cards. It's the English.
If
I'm
you
so happy
search,
one person no.
I see it now.
if you just search Dragons Exalted and go to the set page, it says it right like
Yeah,
in the first line.
it's in the middle. Yeah. Did you open that up, or did you buy that raw?
Oh, I just bought it raw.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. You said cool card, so or who Charlie said it.
Lord Gliz Guzzler.
Drain gang for life. Facts.
So, are you submitting that on the 50 with CGC, or just gonna submit it in bulk and see what happens?
Which one? Oh, the Charizard?
Yeah, I probably should have prefaced that.
Yeah, I'll probably submit the Charizard at a higher tier. Everything else, like all the Masakis and everything, that'll just be bulk. I don't even know what CGC's higher tiers are. Let me pull them up.
The days Masaki's are bulk are the day that I'm out the hobby.
Those are not like mint ones. Those are gonna be like CGC 7, 6s. I feel like bulk tier is
Okay.
fair for that. There's no if there was Gengars in there, that would be a higher tier probably. Here we go. So CGC bulk is 15, economy is 25 with a max value of 500. Standard is 35, express is 70 with a max value of 10,000. I'll probably go standard. Standard claims max value of 1,000. Obviously it's worth more than 1,000, but I've never heard of a CGC upcharge. I'll be interested
Do
to
they
see if
even
I
care?
I have no idea.
Have they ever?
I've
Yeah.
never heard of it. I'll try it at the $35 tier, and I'll see if I guess that'll be an interesting thing to talk to YouTube about whether or not I get upcharged on a $3,000 card in a $1,000 value tier limit.
I vote you just wait till CGC hits like $12 and you just submit the Charizard at $12 and see what happens.
No, I don't.
Obviously, it doesn't make sense to wait, but
yeah.
I just think it'd be cool to like submit it to like $15 or $12 and see, and just see what you get upcharged to, because
maybe
like
I
you
will
said,
just,
I've never heard of a CGC upcharge.
maybe I will just run it. I mean, bulk's turning around in a day or two. Well, I mean that was one person. Maybe I will just submit it all in bulk and see what happens.
The longest
Crazy.
the longest I've had, and I've submitted 3 submissions to them in the last like 90 days. The longest it's taken me on one of them to be received into grading was like 17 days on one of them, because they split up my subs. This is kind of annoying. If you submit tops to them and you submit TCG cards in the same bulk submission, they split them up because they have to take it to go to 2 different graders or 2 different parts of the facility, and they charge you shipping twice, which is kind of frustrating.
Hmm.
Like I'd much rather just wait an additional 10 days and not have to pay like $20 or $30 in shipping. That's just me though.
I put my whole submission on screen. I probably will just send it all together and see what happens. What's the worst that happens? Regigigas is definitely going. He's going.
Put that in front of your Charizard. That way you get a better grade.
Oh yeah, I'll like. That's how you do it. You got to frame it. So you put it near a bunch of shit, and then it's like, oh my god, CGC 1, CGC 1. This Charizard is mint 8. Profit.
Yeah, you put all your booth in the front, you put your expensive cards right after the booth, and then you put your Japanese cards in the back. That's how you build a graded submission.
That's going to be my submission right there. So I'm just going to send the Charizard at bulk and see what happens.
Jeez.
Could
Do
be
I
a
send
bad
a
idea,
CGC
but-
again?
I hope it turns around in time for Denver.
I'm laughing at Charby. He said DNA CGC story. Damn. So let me ask you this, H22. Y'all piss off. That's funny. But I've been up since like 5-6 a.m. this morning, so I'm probably about to bounce out of here soon, boys.
I'm actually probably
got
going to
5
call
minutes.
it
Dude.
fairly soon.
Yeah.
We're going on 3 hours. Plus we're going to do this again next Tuesday, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have some fun stuff lined up.
I feel like we
Let's
were
go.
never really on any track here. I was gonna say we got a little off track, but there was no track to be on all night. Like this was just a 3-hour mystery stream of nonsense. So I think it's
100%.
all good things must come
Yeah, I'll
to an
be,
end, and all bad things must come to an end too. Whatever this was, it's gonna come to an end.
Whatever this was. I'll be in Nashville all next starting on Saturday, so I'll have a different background set up. I'm dog sitting for my parents, so we might be live streaming from the back patio, so it should be a good time.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Back patio vibes.
Nice.
Cool.
That'll be fun. Everyone tap in next Tuesday. This Tuesday? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
this Tuesday. It's gonna be on my channel, and my parents just got a new puppy, so
Hey.
if y'all like cute dogs and cute men, hop on over to my channel.
There, I linked
get my cat, too.
DNA. Let me link Colson again.
Oh yeah.
So go like and sub and
Definitely.
follow and check them out. We'll be live on DNA's channel. Same 3 people. Hopefully we'll be a little more on track. We'll have a little bit more semblance of some actual topic for the night or whatever. We'll see. The intros
we
are
got
awesome
it.
though. I'm really looking forward to the intro. Really looking forward to Colson's video tomorrow. So it'll be a
Thank
good
you.
time.
I appreciate it, Dan. 3 hours of what video title?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I might have to run that. But yeah, thanks for hopping on, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I completely forgot to mention it, but 40 people are still watching. Moving ahead, like I've been doing a weekly day stream. It might switch to a weekly night stream because my son just started pre-K and I'm not sure I'm gonna have a sitter. I might go from working days to like working nights. My business hours might go from 4 to midnight instead of 8 to 4. So yeah,
Jesus.
we'll have to see. But yeah, still gonna plan on doing the weekly live streams. But anything else to add? I kind of shouted you both out. I linked you both. Anything else to add in closing?
No, we got what we came here for. We got our YouTube channel linked in
There
the
you
chat.
go.
So we're all set.
You guys chilled. We're good to go then. Thanks for stopping in, everyone. Thanks for watching, and check out Colson's video tomorrow, and we'll see you all Tuesday.
This is
Sounds
good.
good.